Hello, hello, hello. And thanks for coming through to LRGA Curves today, y'all. Make sure you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. You know what to do. You know what to do. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring that bell so you can get notified next time we upload a video over here on LRGA Curves. And so you can get notified, right? And so you can become part of this beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in these YouTube streets. Can I get a witness? All right. Happy Sunday. Thank you guys for coming through and spending your time with me today to talk about this reality roundup for reality news. Okay. We have Candy Girl on our topics. Candy Girl, you are my world. Love you think. And you are you guys know that song? Candy. Hi, Milo. Hi, baby. How you doing? How you doing, Milo? Milo. Milo's getting so big, you guys. You know, he's 2 now. He'll be 2. Well, officially, he's 2 to us the weekend of July 10th. We got him for our anniversary 2 years ago on our way home from the thing, right? So, but he was like 6 to 8 weeks old when we got him. So we figure he's a Taurus. So his birthday is right around now. We're pretty sure. And, yeah, Guy. Hi, Guy. Yeah, you're my big guy. Yes, I'm my. Do you guys change your voice too when you talk to your animals? Sorry, I don't want to freak you out if you don't. It's a thing. It's kind of, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but I change my voice when I talk to animals and babies. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to go Candy Girl, who is Candace Dillard Bassett, El Prego, Ea Prega. She's Prego right now. She has some thoughts the other day I thought were cute and I captured them. And then Amanda Seales. Still a hot topic in the YouTube streets, in the streets in general. Very polarizing she is for whatever reason. And so I've been of the mind that people should let the woman live. Seriously. If we're in a world where you can decide the different pronouns apply in places that are traditionally not that place, then hey, she can self-diagnose. Leave her alone, let her live. Why is it so important to disavow and ridicule and undermine her experience in this world when people's create their experience and their reality all the time in this world? I just don't get it. I really don't get it. So I think people should let her live. Okay. And what else are we going to talk about? Joy and Carmen last night. Joy and Carmen, really? So look, I'm going to sound like Bethany Frankel for a second and be like, oh, I didn't really watch. When she finally interviewed Rachel Leviss from Vanderpump Rules and she wasn't able to have like any real bias because she hadn't been watching for so many seasons. She just watched that one season, and from that one season that she saw Scandival, she was like, oh damn, you got the short end of the stick, Rachel. Want to come talk about it? You know? And people were like, well, you needed to have watched the whole show to get like, how can you even judge without watching the whole entire 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 seasons of engaging in their so-called reality, right? Which Jax Taylor says is scripted, by the way. So I'm just thinking it's really interesting that Joy and Carmen, who I haven't really been watching, is the Bethany Frankel bridge. I only started watching because shout out to Van Talk was like, oh, LRGA Curves. I'm sure you'll love it. Just check it out. Just give it a chance, right? So I picked it up finally. I didn't even really pick it up right after that whole evil Santa's helper thing where Santa's helper went berserk. I didn't even pick it up from there. That's where I ended it. And then it went on a very long hiatus. I'm talking about Love and Marriage DC, you guys. Woo, 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 woo. Pull over. Pull over. Largest. Okay. They don't know what you're exactly talking about. You have to, okay. You were talking about Joy and Carmen. It could have been Joy and Carmen, anybody. This is Joy and Carmen from Love and Marriage DC, which Manny's TV Talk said I should check out. So I did. And now I have an opinion, even though I didn't watch the entire second season after they went on 2-month, 8-month hiatus and came back with 52 extra episodes. So I only caught about, of the 52 episodes, I might have caught 6 or something like that. And from those episodes that I caught, I do have some, you know me, I'd be having strong opinions, you guys, and they don't match everybody's. They don't match everybody's at all. So I have some opinions on that. And then I had dropped in somebody's chat while I was waiting to go live. Part of why I'm a little behind. Sorry for my tardiness, by the way, universe. Because I always want the universe to be on time for me. So I do have some thoughts, and I had dropped in somebody's chat earlier today, and the people were like, because like my observations are somehow negative, and I'm like, look, Carmen had some explaining to do as far as I could see. Look, let the newlyweds be newlyweds. Why is it so important for you to claim this man as your best friend after he didn't pick you on the Ready to Love show? And that's strange. How is it that these grown people are calling each other best friends, and you're grown and you just met on a reality show where you were gonna date but didn't? But then also in this chat that I dropped in earlier, where Carmen was the guest, and her boyfriend who was on Below Deck. I told you guys last time we talked about Love and Marriage DC that Carmen was a special guest on Below Deck, you guys. Last week I told y'all she did not tip well. She was very upset. That poor chef got their order all wrong. And especially Fraser's highfalutin entitled ass. He was like, these people are more inclined to like McDonald's and cheeseburgers. You're better off to just make it simple, chef. So then he got chef frazzled and kept coming in with his Anybody who watches Below Deck knows Fraser's a whole entire vibe in the form of a fucking anchor. I mean, bring the party down much? Oh my God. Anyway, you know who Fraser reminds me of? Anybody who's old enough to remember those 2 old guys in the Muppets who sat up in the box seats and just talked trash about everything the Muppets were doing. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. Google 2 old guys on the Muppets. It'll pop up. Okay. Anyway, so I have thoughts about that. And then it looks like Martell popped out of the woodwork, you guys. So we will be looking at something Martell said. We will be looking at something Martell said. And see about that. Let's go there. See if that works. I don't know. Yeah. So let's see. So it's going to be really interesting to hear all these things. But however, also let's start right here. We have some bad news, you guys. I was coming on here to talk about some reality roundup stuff, and some more news came out. And bless her freaking heart, man. And can she catch a break already? Like, we're going to have to come back to you live. Beats. Oh, I just come down here to the bottom. Let me move this. Where is it? Once I go there, then there's search. And we're going to have to drop over to none other than... sad news. Sad news, you guys. Okay, so did you guys see this post? Did you guys see this post that Monica Garcia did 2 hours ago from Salt Lake City? You know, the one who ended up being Reality Von Teese. Well, she posted this. She said, one thing I promised myself when opening my life up to all of you was that I was going to do it completely unapologetically and authentically raw as possible. I would show you my life in all aspects because that is what I agreed to do. Unfortunately, today, I need to share a very heartbreaking aspect. There is no heartbeat. I don't have any words, and I'm still processing all of this myself. As quickly as this happened, that's how quickly things have changed. I am sending so much love to everyone dealing with miscarriages, fertility issues, pregnancy problems. If you have an angel baby and everything in between, I am so grateful for my incredible doctors and amazing support system. I am so blessed to have all of you in my corner, and I appreciate how beautiful you all have been to me about this baby. I love you, and I'm so thankful for you. Ah, you guys, it appears that perhaps it appears as though Monica Garcia may have miscarried. It looks like that's what this is saying. So sending prayers and strength and healing vibes her way. Bless her heart. Um, wow. So yeah, bless your heart, Monica. I love Monica Garcia, you guys. I was so excited. She was so excited. We did a whole thing. Remember, she had went over to the the Veil, whatever, that Nick Vile guy who was from the Bachelor recently, and was even talking about being pregnant and who the baby daddy was. And he was a guy that she met while she was on set, and they hit it off in more ways than one and made a little life. And unfortunately, she's reporting that there's no heartbeat. So bless her heart, you guys. Bless her heart. Wow, wow. Dang. So that just happened. That wasn't on the menu, but we got it on the menu because it just happened. Let's see who's in the house today. Shout out to the Curvies coming through. Be more shorty. That's right. Awesome mod in the house. Hit that like button as you come in. All right. And if you haven't subscribed, it's free. Become a Curvy and catch up with LRGA Curves. Be more shorties in the house. What's good, Joe? What's good, Joe? Hi. Hello, smiling Erin. Everybody, she has a channel. She needs to drop her link to her channel, right? Oh, is she in mod? She's not in mod form today. If a mod, would you please mind dropping Smiling with Erin's link? She finally got her channel up and running in these YouTube streets. Shout out for positivity. And Smiling with Erin. Hi! What's good, D? Yes, walking around with my Mickey ears. Right? Right? That's right. Shout out to Disneyland. Yes, the two old guys in the box seat. Yes. Okay. Okay. Like that's just some good old hating vibes, right? Just for no good reason. And they would have even told us that Carmen and Clifton's thing was too much. Okay. They would have had a lot to say about all of these topics. Okay. Yes, creeped out. The crew watched Carmen and partner. Yes. Did you guys see? Anybody else know what me and Joanne are talking about? So on the Below Deck episode, Carmen is the primary. She demands part of her request, and everybody can do whatever they want. Part of their request was that they be crowned queen and king, her and her boyfriend, who was with her today in the live that she did on this content creators thing. And they were the primaries, and their cabin was down some stairs. And I don't know if they didn't take a look around the outside first, but when they got in the cabin, they decided to get at it. They were making use of the primary suite, okay? With the curtains open, y'all. With the curtains open. So the cast of Below Deck is literally sitting at the window where Carmen is smashing old boy on the boat. And it was just so odd. I'm like, this has to be some kind of like, why are you still freaking sitting there? The guy was literally sitting on the windowsill, smoking a cigarette while they're smashing with the window curtains open and telling the other crew members, oh, they're smashing when they would try to walk by. Then they would come and sit on the stairs. At one point, there was at least 3 below deck personnel outside the window while Carmen was smashing. Okay. It was so weird. I was creeped out too. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, when the people look back and see what was being said about them and see what was happening behind the scenes, I wonder, do they feel the kind of way? Like, I know Jill Zarin, of course, she already said that Fraser made her trip horrible and he made her trip horrible. Well, Jill Zarin made it horrible for us to all watch. So that's one time I'll take up for Fraser's trifling ass. Anyway, let me move on. And then we already talked about how Martell has something to say. So now let's go to the, let's see who else is in the house. Who else? Oh, Allie from Miami. That's right. Okay. So freaking crazy. Yes. Just for, I don't know. Well, he was smoking a cigarette. It takes like 3 minutes to smoke a cigarette, I guess, depending on how fast you draw in and stuff, I guess. So maybe it was just a quickie, but still, come on now. Not a good look. I wonder if somebody's going to talk to somebody about that. That's like really weird. And look, if I'm paying all this money and I decide to smash with the window open, that does not give the crew permission to sit outside my freaking window and, come all close to my freaking smash arena, smashery-loo. Yeah. Let's see. So next, I thought this was hilarious. So I caught Candy Girl the other day. I'm going to miss her on Real Housewives of Potomac. It looks like they're scurrying around trying to bring some awesome flavor. And the flavor will include Afro-Latina. And you know how Giselle feels about people not speaking English in front of her. So, ooh, I can't wait to hear the reviews on if that ends up being a confrontation, because I'm sure she'll nibble Garcelle up. I mean, not Garcelle, my bad. Not that G. Garcelle, I love Garcelle. I'm talking about Giselle. So when Giselle was on the Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls Trip, Phuket, remember? She was on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, Phuket, and was there for the trip with Candace, remember? And that's on the trip where she admitted that Candace is a reactor, not, in fact, an instigator. Candace is a reactor. So when all the stuff was happening on Real Housewives of Potomac right now, and she's trying to pretend like Candace is some kind of aggressor, she herself recognizes and has admitted that Candace is a reactor. right? So the video we're going to see is of Candace reacting. Yeah, it's going to be hilarious. Hilarious. I love Garcelle though. And Garcelle looks so good. She looks so good. She still looks like she did in that video with who did she do that video with? Damn, I was just looking at it the other day. Oh, Luther Vandross. Yeah. So let's get this up here. Giselle is a hypocritical square, right? A good old L7. You guys know what an L7 is? So if you make an L with one finger and a 7 with the other, and you put them together, it makes a square. And back in the day, when, like in the 40s and 50s, I guess, maybe even 30s, that was a way to call people a loser. Like kind of like the middle finger in that movement with your, like where you put your arm to your other arm and you like put it up like you know what I'm talking about. You make that fist up, like one of those movements. It was like a curse of a jester, right? So you call somebody a loser, you just put the L to the forehead, that's a loser. But if you put an L and a 7, then it makes a square. And that means that you're kind of like, you know, green, Similac, wet behind the ears, don't know what they're talking about, not worldly, not mature in that subject, like an L7 square, you know, not fun. Like, I don't know. It was a thing. It was a burn back in the day to be called a square, you guys. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. Take you home. Take you home. Yes. That's the song. If you guys want to see how much Garcelle has not changed, talk about black not cracking. Okay. Talk about black not cracking. Go look, Google it right now. Take You Home, Luther Vandross. The video girl in that video is Garcelle, if you didn't know. And now you do. She has not aged, you guys. Has not aged. And that freaking video is practically a prophecy of her life to come because now she has her beach house. You'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Corey. Get better. Please feel better. Feel better. So let's take a look at this video I was able to catch. And I'm going to upload it later, so I had already prepped it. This Curvies, Candace has had an experience that I'm sure we've all had. Take a listen.
Don't mind my gym hair. I just came from the gym. Okay. So I came here to complain. Okay. So I'm trying to get things done. I feel like, I don't know if this is like, am I like in my nesting phase? I don't know what this is, what you call this. Excuse me. But, you know, I'm in a space where I'm like, boom, 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 I want to get stuff done. So I'm sitting here. One of the things that, first of all, if you know me, you know that I speak a lot. I speak all the time about how I feel as though I was born to be a homeowner. I love everything there is about owning a home. The good, the bad, the ugly, the challenging, all of it. I grew up watching my mother manage her homes, and nest and turn them into homes for her family and her children and entertain. And I've just always like known that it would be my life. It would be my story. So, you know, it's spring. So there's like, you know, things that you want to start getting done, the yard. I called a landscaper, and there's stuff in the house. Like there's carpet that needs to be replaced. So almost all the bedrooms need their carpet replaced. And I've been putting it off since we moved in. And it's like, okay, got to get it done now. So I called a company to come and do a consult for flooring. And I don't know, if y'all work in the call center and this is what y'all do, correct me if I'm wrong. But the lady was like, okay, well, we have availability tomorrow. Who will be making the decisions on the flooring? And I said, because they ask you, like, do you rent, do you own, are you a homeowner, who else in the house? So I was like, okay, yes, we own, we're we're making this. I said, it's me and my husband. So then she's like, okay, well, since you're both making the decisions, we will need you to both be in the home. And I said, well, my husband's not going to be here tomorrow. He's going to be at work. And she was like, well, we don't leave samples. So we need to pick a date where you are both going to be available. I'm sure there's a date we can find. I said, hold on. Hold your mule, Suzanne. Okay? First of all, why are you in my business? Like, what? Second of all, I didn't ask you to leave no samples. Third of all, I will be taking pictures. I've used this company before. They did my glam room. They did our basement. And they did a pretty good job. So I'll be using them again. And I definitely took pictures and sent the pictures to my husband, who was at work at the time. And I was just like, she was like really trying to not give me an appointment because I wanted tomorrow. And she was really trying to be like, well, if he's not going to be there tomorrow, then tomorrow's not going to work. I need you to do your job. Okay? Your job is to plunk on this laptop, computer, or whatever you on, and put in my address and my phone number and book this appointment. My job is to tell you when to come out here with the samples and get this money. What do you mean? Well, we can't make the appointment tomorrow if he's not going to be there. So I said, ma'am, whatever I want, my husband is going to support. I will send him pictures.
Happy Sunday, Bianca.
Of the things that I like. I was just like, what do you mean? She was for real, like, well, let's look at another day. Let's do it tomorrow, because that's what I said. I was just like, what is this? And I really feel like I kind of like low-key like snapped a little bit. And she was like, okay. And I said, okay, yes. So tomorrow, what windows do you have available? Because, they always do. This piece of hair is annoying me again today. It's always like a window of time, 9 to whatever, 10 to whatever. She gave me the windows, and I was like, yeah, I'll just take pictures. It's gonna be all right, okay, Suzanne. I just had to come and let you know, because I was just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? All decision makers, like, you can't dictate when you're going to give me business based on who is going to make the decisions. If I said I needed Santa Claus to let me know his thoughts, I would just have to send Santa Claus the samples in my phone, which are just not going to take my business because the other decision maker in the household is not available. Who is writing the rules? But maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I don't know how things work. But that was, she was like, for real. She like literally was like, okay, well, that's not going to work. Let's find a different day. Let's not. Okay? I need you to get out of my calendar and get back into your computer, into your scheduler, and schedule me for tomorrow. That was ridiculous to me. But maybe I'm crazy. Let me know. Also, while I'm sitting here, I have another complaint. I guess I need to get it out. I'm venting. This is a vent session. Why do y'all think, and by y'all, I mean retailers, that we, and by we, I mean pregnant people, are going to pay you $100+ for some leggings? I had I've started like saving baby related stuff like years ago. And I had found this like site on Instagram that had like maternity leggings, but they weren't like ugly leggings. They were like cute leggings. So I was like, okay, let me just say this. And I'm getting to the point where I don't want anything tight on my stomach. There isn't a whole lot going on, but you know, it is starting to get a little tight. And you know, so I just want like comfortable things. Like these are my best friend got me these leggings, and they're really comfortable. I need her to tell me where she got these. So I was trying to find like something cute. I went to this leggings store. Do you know it was leggings on there? Leggings, plain black leggings, for like $139. I mean, I'm cheap. Like, I will spend money if it's Dior. Even in Dior, I'm like, I don't need that, but I do need this. But like, some plain black leggings. And they had like the thing that like comes up over, it was like an extra panel. So you had to sew that panel on, and that is worth the extra $75. Because these leggings, like, you can get a good pair of leggings. Okay, let's call it $35, even $40. $139, even $103. I saw a pair for $103. Too much. This is insane. I really feel like that's robbery. But if there are any mothers who have crossed the burning sands of childbirth, carrying and childbirth, please let me know. Am I tripping? Is it me? Is there another place that I can go look for quality leggings, like, or even like regular leggings, that are suitable for a growing bump that are not going to be $3,000? That's crazy. Like, that's insane. So, that's where we are.
So 2 things. If I'm calling to make an appointment, customer service, please. And why are the leggings $130? Leave a comment, ring the bell. See you in the next video. Okay. So, yeah. What'd you think? Do you think that the freaking people should just make an appointment? Have you ever had that kind of call before? I have. And I'm like, really? Well, actually, like, even like for certain things, I can understand that. But for like samples for your house, yeah, like you can take a picture. For anything. I mean, if your job is to come and show me what I need in order for me to make a decision, then show me what I need. What happened to, look, I'm old enough that the saying used to actually be, the customer is always right. I'm that old. And they would do any and everything to ensure customer satisfaction and make things right. Like if you said you wanted to talk to the next level of person, it used to fucking matter. And now the people are just like, from jump, at the reception desk, you have to deal with like hoops of fire and shit. Like begging people to take your money. I still appreciate excellent customer satisfaction. And please do not have a recorded shit for me. Just use an old-fashioned call center. Go ahead and let some humans get a job in a good old-fashioned telemarketing center. Now that the minimum wage is up to $20 an hour, when you're in high school, this time when you have the telemarketing job, getting $20 an hour, calling the people after work, or being in the freaking call center so that when the offices are closed, instead of reach an answering machine, they reach an answering service. That's a thing too. Believe it or not, People don't like talking to fucking robots all the time and pressing 1 and 3 and 6 and star to get back to the other menu. Customer freaking service is a whole concept, y'all, that unfortunately is being browbeaten out of the freaking participants of this capitalist society that we're living in. Like, we literally give them our dollars while they're smacking our hands these days. Okay? And they're making us pay for the bag to put our shit in to get it home. There was such a freaking uproar the first time the stores came out where they wanted you to bag your own stuff. Old timers were not having that. They would just stay over there to the other store. They would drive 10 extra miles to get to the Safeway because the guy was going to pack their groceries the way it was supposed to happen at a grocery store. Or they would drive all the way over to the other side of town where the people filled your tank and checked your oil and do your thing. They would drive all the way over there for as long as possible while it lasted. Because customer service matters. Now everything's a freaking money grab, you know? So I'm with Candace on this one. Make my mother pluck an appointment for the time you just said you had, and I'll deal with the rest. How about that? How about that? Okay? I agree with her. Yeah, it's just carpet, not life insurance. Right? And even that, like, having two people there does help, because even trying to explain it the other way, it's always hard. So having somebody go back and try to half-ass explain it, it's even harder to unexplain the half-ass explaining. But something like this, it's literally take a freaking picture, send it to whoever's paying, and make a decision. Literally. It didn't have to be like that. So let's see. Yes. She said if she doesn't go to Old Navy and grab some maternity clothes, right? Or better yet, go ask Neck and Fivehead for G&A merch, right? I don't know. I'm not sure if they will supply her. Happy Sunday. Yeah. They're making bad business policies off a few bad situations. Yes. The policies. Yeah, so out here in California, there's a huge uproar that there's been a push to make the minimum wage $20 for years, but it's finally kicking in. And it's been like 15 for like the last, it was supposed to go up in increments. So now the $20 increment is here. And so like if you work at McDonald's, it's $20 an hour. If you work at Dollar Tree, it's $20 an hour. If you work at you know, wherever, it's supposed to be $20 an hour. So that might sound nice and pretty, but you have to consider the gas out here is like what, $5.99? It's $5.99-ish right now. I'll give $5.69 for an average between the 81, 87, and 91 octanes. You know, the average is probably about $5.69, maybe $5. Yeah, it's high. So giving a minimum wage of $20 is like freaking a drop in the bucket compared to California. Candace is the money they'll pay it for anyway. It's $19.50. Yeah, right. Well, Chris has been working. He's the general manager at another awesome, beautiful, very upscale, chic-looking restaurant where they have a fantastic menu that I'm sure he helps curate, along with excellent drinks. And we know how much he likes to make a good drink. So yeah, shout out to Chris, keeping his business to himself, because people still are going to say what they want to say. You know, at least he's working. He's doing what he loves. He's cooking. He's doing what he loves. Shout out to doing what you love. One for English, dos for Espanol. Yeah, like who freaking wants that? How about you let Mary pick up a phone, and if you say, oh, Tu habla en español? She says, oh no, uno momento, and transfers you to somebody else to speak to in your language. How hard is it? It's not hard to keep an economy going. It's not. It's when you try to be a greedy fuck that things get a little difficult. You know? It's just, oh yeah, we said that one. OMG, I forgot. They used to take your groceries. Yes, and load them. Yes. You weren't touching a bag. You weren't paying for a bag. And now sometimes if you look old or disabled in or however that looks or whatever, they might ask you, do you need help taking your stuff to the car? But that was a given. That's the only Lucky's my grandma would shop at. They would always take her stuff to the car, load it up, and and they would even like make sure the car behind let her get out and stuff before she left the parking lot. Okay. Customer freaking service. People have no idea. People think everybody who answers a phone has attitude. It's not the way it used to be. It's not the way it used to be. Never. Companies used to be scared of customers saying bad things about them. Now they're like, fuck you. They don't give a fuck. Satisfaction guaranteed, customer service, customer always wins. So yeah, shout out to that. Oh, and I don't think that freaking legging should be $130 just because it's maternity. They do try to do that shit. They have one extra panel of stuff that's not even a freaking quarter of a yard of material and add an extra $60 on it. I want to know, did they pay the kids that made it the extra $59? Hello? I don't think so. It's just freaking greed. There's no reason. And if you really think about it, you guys, there's no reason for meat and eggs and cheese and all that stuff to really be up in price. You know why? They told us it's grass-fed, right? So how much do they have to pay for the grass that the cows are eating that just grew out of the fucking ground? It's in the same exact plant that you were already, it's at the same exact slaughterhouse on the same exact farm. So how much more money did it cost for all that same equipment to continue to run? It didn't really cost anything extra, you guys. But they sure are charging like freaking $12.98 a pound for some boof. You guys, a gas gallon and milk gallon can be the same price out here in California, you guys. And if you bought it organic, then your milk is definitely going to be more expensive. Eggs, oh my God, eggs are crazy prices. Yeah. Lunacy. But if it's grass fed, then how is it that you need more money from us? The only thing in the equation that did cost more money is the trucking gas, the gas trucking to get it from point A to point B. So that part did go up, but not like double, triple price and not $60 extra for a panel price. And back in the day, when the customer service used to matter and the customer was always right, go watch an old movie about retail. They would go through hoops to make sure Mrs. Banneker got her shit right. Now they got us on the hook. It's capitalism. We can't not buy it. And that's part of, maybe the plot was to make customer service so bad that you force brick and mortars out of business because click and order is easier and you don't have to mess with nobody's funky ass attitude while you're trying to spend your money. Do you think that could have been part of the whole plot and how they let customer service just go down, down, down? Nobody feels like dealing with funky ass attitudes when you're spending your hard-earned $3. Anyway, yeah, we have a 10-cent bag here in California. And actually, they get you out here. They're like, okay, 10 cents for the paper, 25 cents for the plastic. Okay. Yes. Oh, see there? Ooh, Yep. Yeah. During the demic out here, they let the bags be free because you were supposed to be bringing in your own bags. Now we're back to being able to bring in our own bags. But during the demic, because of germ transfer, they were just like, F it. You don't have to pay us because we're not letting you bring your germy ass bags in our store right now. So, but now they're back to charging. And at the restaurants out here, even the restaurants were even charging for bags for your fucking hot food to get out of the restaurant, you guys. Everybody's trying to get the extra 10 cents. At 720 freaking 5. Now, you know what? That's the fucking problem. I feel, look, we have solar energy, turbine power, electric cars, Oculus technology, AI, all this stuff, and they're only paying humans 7 motherfucking 25 an hour out of their fucking life to work, to make a living, to participate in the society that 725 doesn't get you into. You know what I'm saying? It's a freaking amazing. Just the plottedness. When you really look at this shit. So you let customer service go to crap. Now we don't want to shop in your store. So now all the brick and mortar's gone. Everybody's clicking order. You just put all those people out of work. And now the jobs you do let stay open, you're really looking for a way hard to get the Tesla robots over to the Walmart so that they can start checking people out without making them bleed. Because at the Tesla factory, they be attacking the other they attack humans, you guys, by accident. Yes, it's happened a number of times out here, down there in the down there. Okay. Oh, look, we have a super freaking chat for Make It Make Sense. I'm proud to be cheap too. Let me tell you about me. Okay. I love a freaking bargain. I don't mind upcycling. I do not. Costco gas is very good. Out here, though, we have a store called Smart and Final that's actually Costco's cheap cousin. And it's even cheaper out here at Smart and Final. It had a 4 in front of it at Smart and Final. I got some freaking 87 octane at Smart and Final the other day for $4.89 a gallon. Okay, that was excellent. And I should have topped off that day, but I only did a half a tank. And the price wasn't going to go up. Duh, it fucking went up. And so then, yeah, anyway, thanks for the freaking super chat. Shout out to Mims. You know, Mims has a channel. He's on his way to 175K. He's going to get to 500K, I'm sure, by the end of the year. He's so freaking awesome. He has the straight shooters over there. You guys make sure you go through, smash his buttons, ring his bell. And look, if you want the real, go over there. He does a lot of different types of awesome topics. So shout out. Thanks for being here, Mims. Oh, look. Yep, I go wait in those long ass. Yes, the lines are long at freaking who's it's called too. But I'm usually that person that is not waiting in the line, and I'll drive around your ass because I saw it from over there, and I'm like, oh, they waiting over here. Let me go. Yeah, but yeah, it's worth staying in a line. Look, Costco lines is the equivalent to waiting to charge your Tesla. I hear those lines are getting outrageous. That's one thing. I mean, think about the engineering of cities, okay? So you want everybody in your freaking electric car, but now they have to go wait to charge their cars for hours in lines for hours. I don't know. Thanks again for the support in the super chat, Mims. Love you over here. Right on. So let's see. You're old enough to experience them? What, customer service or having bags? Oh, you're close to, oh my God. And you know what the freaking worst part about it is, you guys? Where I live in Northern California, There's 3 freaking oil refineries where they make freaking gas. Sorry I got a little loud about it, but it's a freaking amazing to me that I gotta pay for what they make down the street. You didn't even have to ship it to my ass. Like, you made it, and you could have poured it in my freaking tank like it's morning coffee. Why am I paying this freaking extra $8? I hear the rest of the world is not enduring these types of gas prices to have the gas made in your freaking backyard, you guys. You guys. Freaking amazing. They make it down the street. Like, you have to roll up your windows in that part of the on the freeway. Well, at least I do. I roll my windows up. I don't even know how the people have houses so close. I'm like, whenever I do drive through there, like on one side of them, there is no houses. Right there, they're kind of over there closer to the bay. But on the other side of the refinery, there's residential houses that smell the fumes from the freaking refinery all day. And it's not that good gas smell. I swear, they put some stuff in this new gas that's not the same as the old gas. I used to love the smell of when they used to come and pump the gas at my grandma's car and at my dad's car back in the day. Or they would let you sit in the car and clean the windows, and you put your face to the window and they act like they're cleaning your face with the squeegee. You guys, anybody else experience that as a child? Anyway. So yeah, they used to have the gas that smelled hella good. I used to like the smell of unleaded. Now it's like, oh, roll that window up. How can you live there? Chris is broke, and how long will this job last? Yep, folks working 3 jobs. Yes, it's crazy. I should not have to work 3 jobs because you only want to pay me $7 a freaking hour. New rule. All hourly wages must be the sum of the cost of 1 gallon of gas, 1 loaf of bread, 1 steak, 1 insurance payment, and 10% for tithing. Let's add that up. All new hourly wages, new rule, minimum wage just got raised to $136 an hour. At least. For everybody. Now, if you do that for 8 hours a day, then you might start making your way with 1 job these days. Because if you have to make, do you guys have in your state, they have this thing out here in California where you have to make 3 times the rent. And for your DTI for houses, the DTI is usually 2.5. So like, or 2.5 times the mortgage, right? Or 2 times the mortgage and 3 times the rent. And then if the rents out here for like a 1-bedroom are $3,000, easy, depending on what city where you are. Let's just do 3,000, right? So that means you need to make $9,000 just to qualify for freaking rents. You have to make 3 times the rent to qualify for rent. You have to make 2 times at least the mortgage to qualify for mortgages, right? But the politicians are arguing about raising your minimum wage. Isn't that weird? Is that weird? Is that weird that they're arguing about raising a wage for 1 hour of your life that you have to get there to make? Because then look at Elon Musk, how he wants everybody, all the people are lazy, make them go back to the offices, right? So you have to get there to make your $7 or however much. And then you get your breaks or not. How many of you really get your breaks at work? I've never really gotten my breaks at work, and I don't make a big fuss of it. And sometimes they used to try to tell you, oh, if your salary, you can't make a fuss that you didn't get your break. Fuck that. Double fuck that. I'm salary. That means you just need to do overtime now because this is extra. What? But why are they arguing with regular schmegular people about wanting to make $20 an hour while they're helping you check out Adidas and Ross? When the people on the boards and who have stock options in those companies are making that. Why is it? Is this what trickle down economics was? I'm not sure. I'm asking for a friend who's suffering in these financial times. You know what I'm saying? But out here, I was telling you guys, let me get back on subject. So out here, people are irate that the governor didn't do anything about stopping this $20 an hour minimum hour wage. It's going to make me have to go out of business. I already charged $20 for hamburgers because he makes me pay him $15 an hour. They're not going to pay $26 a hamburger. No, why should everybody's hamburger have to cover that extra $5 an hour? That doesn't make sense. So maybe have one person's hamburger be $25 there. You just covered the extra $5 an hour or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But every hamburger for the whole hour, I don't understand. I'm really confused, you guys. I don't know. But let's go to this next awesome video over here on Live Beats. He happened to catch what Amanda's saying. Okay? Amanda was saying some things about what the people were feeling.
In here, like, without a diagnosis, it's disrespectful to claim autism, and that's just simply untrue. Self-diagnosis is actually incredibly respected within the autism community, especially for adults and especially for Black women. They cut this out of the interview, but I explained in the interview that the reason this is because autism pathology is so specifically focused on young white males that it often leaves out Black people, particularly Black women. And unfortunately, it is also incredibly expensive, particularly for adults. Like in California, it can cost up to $10,000 for an autism diagnosis. Thank you, Yola Fahad. And it is also oftentimes like just very kind of traumatic on the process to the autism diagnosis, because for so many of us Black women, we are not seen, we are not listened to, we are stigmatized. And so in that stigmatization, you then end up becoming re-traumatized. And so I was very careful about vocalizing my autism, like even vocalizing out loud that, because I did so much research that did say that, you know, because of these reasons, self-diagnosis is so valid. And it's also difficult to access it's difficult to access diagnosis because a lot of the actual clinicians who perform it are not even culturally competent to be able to diagnose. And I see people saying things in here like, without a diagnosis, it's disrespectful to claim autism, and that's just simply untrue. Self-diagnosis is actually incredibly respected within the autism community. Why is Gilbert Arenas even talking about me?
As educated as she is, right? Yeah. She's there's a standard of a man that she's looking for. Right. Yeah. If it's not on the same educational level as her, she's gonna write down on. And but that is, if they're more educated than her, then they talking down to her. Right. So these are the type of women that will typically be single because they can't find an equal partner to who they are.
Like, why is Gilbert Arenas even talking about me? I'm too smart to find a good man? That's not even a thing. That's an unfortunate statement to make. That's an unfortunate statement to make. And it also is just like, I don't even know what that's attempting to say about men. I don't even know what that's trying to say about men. But, you know, and the truth is, I'm not trying to find a good man. The good man will find me. I'm talking to somebody right now. You're so weird. Why is Gilbert Arenas even talking about me?
Okay.
As educated as she is. Right. Yeah.
So she has some excellent points, you guys. I feel like her points are very valid. I feel like that's a valid point. Why are they talking about her? Self-diagnosis. I immediately went to this thing called Google when she said the whole kerfuffle about self-diagnosis and the legitimacy within the autism diagnosing, And it's a thing. Self-diagnosis does exist in everything. They don't encourage it. In some instances, it's discouraged. In other instances, it's encouraged. And all I did was go to this thing called Google. The same thing that lady Anne Marie in Beverly Hills could have went to find out if there was really a small esophagus medical issue that could happen in a person before she berated Sutton Strack about having a small esophagus and suggests that she just needs to chew her food better. She's trying to choke that lady, you guys. And that was a medical professional who argued with the lady on a national platform and said it with all her whole chest. That's not true. That doesn't even exist. And all I did was Google it, and it was right there, you guys. So anyway, I used Google, and I checked out this whole self-diagnosis thing, and it exists. And then where'd it go? And then I happened upon this video right here that we're going to look at. If it comes open. Shout out to, this is Denise Brady, LMFT, and she's a therapist. And before this though, let's get at this comment. Mademoiselle, thanks for being here. Shay B, thanks for coming through. Right on, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring my bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video. And so you can become part of this beautiful curvy community that we're growing in the YouTube streets, y'all. And if my mods can drop any other content creators that we're cool with here in the chat, I'd appreciate it. I know Mim's got his link dropped. And I thought I saw Smiling Erin in here earlier. I'm not sure if she's still in here. But yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it. Because you know what I always say? There's enough to go around. There's a motherfucking enough to go around. And that's what my whole point is about talking about this. And Mademoiselle hit the nail on the head. Hello, everyone. America was founded off of slave labor. America wants everyone to work for free. They don't want to pay anyone that lives here, actually, and works here. But they're very willing to put their money over to other places where we are not working or living. Imagine that. Interesting. But I don't want to get too political on you guys because that will just lead me back to racism. Anyway, we don't have to go there today. None of my topics today have to do with the R word. Did you guys hear that Mary Cosby said the R word allegedly over in the streets of Potomac? To which she posted a picture and said, "My beautiful son." So I think somebody might have said something about her son that she was like, "You're not about to say that without me saying this about your son." To which, when it finally all came out, she again is just reaffirming that her son is beautiful. Look. Okay, so I don't know what they said. We need the whole story, please. Sooner than later. So, okay, let me see. Joanne says, or treat your employees right, and so they can live the best, right? There was this one company out here in California where the guy made everybody's wage $70,000, just everybody. So nobody was over, nobody was under. And then he was able to like disseminate work in a way where it was all equal work also. So it wasn't really title based. You know what I mean? And for the lower income people, it ended up putting them in a crutch because they ended up incoming out of qualifications for certain things they were currently living in. So, hey, anyway, that can happen. Wow, they charge parents $10,000 now. Yes, that is true. That is true. That they charge $10,000. Look, they make it really hard to prove it, and then they try to act like they don't know where it came from. Even though a lot of parents, including Jax Taylor, said recently that his son was hitting all the milestones, and then they got him his vaccine and everything stopped, and now he's nonverbal and is not hitting any more milestones. Jax Taylor said that from Vanderpump Rules. So, and was it Jenny McCarthy who also said something happened to her son after a vaccine? There have been a lot of studies that can show that. I'm not anti anything. I'm pro-love. And I feel like if people did notice something different in their child after certain things were forced upon them, that's a legitimate experience and it needs to be investigated fully. And if it happens to match any other reports that coincidentally also happened after and under the same circumstances, that shit needs to get looked at and studied. And there's the whole they have that whole freaking vaccine repair thing where if you can prove that your kid or you were harmed by a vaccine, they have like a whole fund for it and stuff. Anyway, so, and why would they have that fund to cover? I believe it does cover we'd have to Google it, allegedly. It does allegedly cover things like autism. So, yeah, Google it. She's right. It was hard to get Bryn diagnosed as well, see? And they really don't pay attention to Black kids. They label Black children and they want to put them in IEPs sometimes or put them in special ed classes sometimes, but they still won't diagnose their actual abilities, right? Or their spectrum level. They'll just label them. That does happen a lot. And she was right about the way that people. So if you go to the doctor and they don't listen to you about your pain, and you end up finding a way to finally mitigate your own pain, why would you return to that doctor or that environment to ask them about what's going on with your mind if they just didn't give a with what was going on with your body? You would return to the same environment to see if they give a fuck about your mind? You would? Because I feel like it's very self-aware and an act of self-love to advocate for yourself and find remedies that work for you as a human experiencing this realm. You know what I mean? I mean, because if you really look at all the TikToks and Instagram videos that are compiled and actually match facts, empirical facts that Rockefeller helped create pharmaceuticals based off petroleum that I was just complaining about paying to put in my car, and how that in and of itself creates a cycle of you needing a medicine for the medicine that medicine just did that shit to you because it's based out of petroleum, which is unnatural for your body to absorb and try to, mutate into something that is usable. That's why you have the list of side effects. That's like a fucking OSHA poster at the work that I was just complaining about, that you only want to pay people $7.25 for. See how it's all fucking connected, you guys? Level 8, man. Level fucking 8. I've been working retail for 15 years. Pharmacy 8 customer service has become null and void after 2020. It was horrible. Yes, especially since C19. Especially since C19. It's very apparent once you got back into shopping, just like, yeah. It changed people, But I feel like, because my granny passed a while ago, and it was on the outs when she passed. I feel like the more buttons we need to press to get to a human is the worse it's getting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like that in this is synonymous. Yeah, just give me my Amazon password so I can order my shit, okay? I don't feel like dealing with you guys. Okay, there are not enough Black and people of color that are diagnosed with ASD or have it recognized by clear mental health professionals. Exactly. And for them to be threatening to take the even the diversity, equity, and inclusion out of medicine is ridiculous. I mean, we already aren't included in a lot of trials and stuff, if you didn't know. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So things that they project and have bias on towards us influence decisions when they deal with us in a medical environment. I agree. Some of these companies' insurance do not want to fund patients who deserve answers for knowing about their health. Yes. And that's another reason why people have to become self-aware and investigate and research for themselves also, because the fucking insurance company won't cover it. And if you want to go get it diagnosed by yourself, then it's $10 motherfucking dollars. It's a scam. I've been in support groups for adults with ASD, and I'm normally one of 3 in a room. It's lonely and hard to be heard sometimes. Yeah, I bet. Yep. And that is so sad that so many people who are participants in our society have to experience society in that way. Like, the unheard, the relegated, the freaking overlooked. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fun. This shit's not fun. The world needs to do better. I worked in education, and the teachers do not learn all of these behavioral learning disabilities. Ooh, that's one thing we're going to look at next now that you have it on there. Oh, let me go there. Ooh, that just gave me goosebumps before I forget, because I was about to show you the next little bit of Amanda Seals, but let's go here first, people. Ooh wee! So you guys remember? Oh, look, cutie! Hi, beautiful. Do you guys remember? Where's my messages? Do you guys remember that student, the special needs student, a couple months back in Florida, who had his Nintendo Switch snatched from him by a substitute teacher, and the substitute teacher where is it? Don't tell me it went away. And the substitute teacher got knocked the fuck out, man. And all the other teachers were like, oh, we knew not to take his Nintendo Switch because he was gonna go off if he took his Nintendo Switch. And I feel like personally, when that happened, I was like, oh, why would she? The first thing I said, I saw that lady get mollywopped. Okay, and you guys know I am not with the mollywopping. And if you don't have the mental capacity to understand your own strength, then mollywopping maybe not have been what he realized he was doing. Like, he wanted his Nintendo Switch back, which was basically his survival blanket. His Nintendo Switch was the equivalent of his his Nintendo Switch was the equivalent of his security blanket, right? And he took it with him everywhere, and it made him feel better and all of this stuff, right? So the substitute teacher gets in there and she decides he doesn't need it, and she snatches it from him and storms off. Okay? So people know that security blankets are like basically an extension of the person that is right there, right? And let's see if it's in this headline. Florida teen. Florida teen assaults teacher, Nintendo Switch. Those were the parameters that I put in. So that happened in 2023. February, was that February? Yeah. I don't know if you remember the video. Anyway, so the Florida teacher got attacked after the guy got his thing snatched.
Investigators say when a teacher's aide at Matanzas High School took a 17-year-old ESE student's video game away, he chased after her into the hallway and
Okay, so let's go here. And I'm just going to show you real quick because freaking that is bizarre that they would not have warned this teacher about
the report pushed the victim so
this
hard,
possibility.
Took her off her feet in the air 5 to 6 feet, knocking her unconscious.
This could have been homicide. When you push people down like that, they hit their head. You never know the outcome.
Am I going to jail? Yes, you are. How long? I do not know. I don't make that determination.
The 17-year-old, seen here with campus resource deputies, allegedly continued his assault as the teacher's aide lay helpless on the ground. Investigators say surveillance shows the student kicking her, then getting on top of her and punched her in the body and back of the head approximately 15 times.
He's 6'7", 270 pounds, and he's in high school. Okay. That's a big kid.
You gonna be cool with Deputy King and I? You know, I don't want to go to jail. Look at me. Look, I have more important places. I understand.
The sheriff says Matanzas has 2 SRDs at the high school, but it's a big campus, so it took them several minutes to arrive.
Fortunately, other students and other faculty members, administrators came and intervened.
The students charged with felony aggravated battery and, of course, will be subject of school discipline, including possible expulsion. As first responders tended to the victim.
So did you guys hear that story when that happened? Did you guys hear about that? So, of course, it's in Florida, so they want to try him as an adult and try to kill him, even though he's 17 and mentally disabled. And even though there were parameters in place where he was supposed to be protected and looked out for, and even though the school, everybody at the school knew not to take his Nintendo Switch. So to me, I feel like the school is at fault if they didn't make it clear to the substitute who would be engaging with him to leave him and his Nintendo Switch alone. That's how I feel about it, because the guy is
Hi everyone, this is Latasha Blanton from the Real South.
So I think I now.
Here you go.
Hi everyone, this is Latasha Blank.
So, because everyone thinks that he is, this big adult, and they want him tried as an adult. And then the lady says this. So she's the teacher, and this is what she had to say.
7 years old, and shortly after that, she got a restraining order to keep Brendan away from her family, and the school. And she said that she feels much better knowing that that restraining order is in place. Now, it should be said that during the attack, allegedly Brendan spit on her and threatened to kill her. Okay. And so it's also not his first time attacking someone. It says that he has been arrested 3 other times for attacking someone. Now, it is said that he is autistic. That's what his defense is arguing. So recently, Brendan pled no contest, which basically says that he's not really taking responsibility for what happened, not saying that he's guilty. He just does not want to go to trial. And so he will be sentenced in January of 2024, where he is facing anywhere from 35 months to 30 years in prison. Now, of course, he was tried as an adult.
So he got tried as an adult at 17 years.
For aggravated assault, which is, a felony count.
And I don't think that's fair, because does he technically have an adult mind just because he has an adult body? I don't think so. And I don't think that I feel like the justice system is failing him right now, because he doesn't know his own strength, and the lady shouldn't have taken a security blanket.
And so the controversy really comes into play because people are like, well, I don't think he deserves 30 years. Maybe he deserves something, but 30 years. And also the teacher, Joan Nadich, she is refusing to say, hey, you know what? While he did harm me in the worst way, I don't think he deserves 30 years because, it sounds like he was a special ed student. So I think if you're a teacher aide in special ed and you have some students who may have behavioral issues for whatever reason, I think you kind of know that, right? But I also want to say, I don't think it's her responsibility to let him off the hook. But a lot of people are saying that it's messed up, that she's just kind of like, oh, well, he gets 30 years. So what, right? So again, all that remains to be seen. Now, I want to ask y'all this. What do you think? Do you think that he...
Like she's about to ask, I want to ask you guys, what do you think? Does he deserve to be tried as an adult? Or did the school have a responsibility, which is actually his current defense, because he's not in jail all the way yet. And his current defense is that the school had a responsibility to protect him from her snatching his shit from him that they knew he was going to flash about. And hey, if you can sue because you ask for a pie extra hot from McDonald's and then you decide to eat it and burn the shit out of your lip, and then you turn them and round and you sue them because you burnt your lip with their hot ass piping hot apple pie. Did you know people have won that suit before? People have sued and won before for burning their lip for what they asked for extra hot. So I feel like he has a valid defense if he's saying that the school, which is supposed to be trained and equipped to do this, they have a responsibility to only have him engage with people who are going to keep it copacetic. Now, if he would have just ran up to her and flashed on her and beat her about the head and got on top of her and stomped her and hit her 15 times, then I'd say, look, he obviously has problems. But there was a trigger event that caused him to react. So, and that's totally off subject. But let's get back to the other thing too. Ooh, sorry, you guys. But I had to just go there for a second.
So I think I now understand better your position.
Hi everyone, this is Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa.
There we go.
According to the
There we
report,
go.
pushed the victim so hard, it took her off her feet in the air 5 to 6.
Sorry, you guys. Yeah, close the player. Because I'm about to show you what the bona fide psychiatrist has had to say about none other than Amanda Seales, which is where we were in this reality roundup. We were going to look at what the psychiatrist has to say about it. What was her name? Brandy. Let's refresh that. And close that. So yeah, let's look at these comments. IEP teachers and sitters, some, not all, just are ones to collect a check, no compassion. Did you guys see that bus driver beating the special need nonverbal kids? And they had all been coming home with bruises and stuff all over their bodies for months, bruises and scratches. And it ended up being the bus aide that was sitting on the bus to make sure they were okay, was actually sitting there pinching them and elbowing them and stuff. Oh my gosh, not there for compassion at all. It's sad. America is operating. Everything has been about profit. That's why I'm about reparations. Yep. People should be screaming on the rooftops about motherfucking rations. Yeah, they just signed another $23 billion to go to the country that's not anything to do with reparations for foundational Black Americans. Okay. I feel like they're just laughing in our face every time they sign another package, but they're only having a fucking committee to think about reparations, which would never be money because they keep on saying, oh, there's not enough money for reparations, but they just sent another billions of dollars to freaking in that package that they're banning TikTok with. They have money for Ukraine in there, and they have money for Israel in there. So there's money when they want to have money. But whenever they're talking about reparations for Black foundational Americans and their heirs, they're never talking about reparations for the people that were massacred in Oklahoma. They're not talking about reparations for the people that were massacred in what is now Central Park. They're not talking about reparations for the Black Wall Street. They're not talking about reparations for the other Black Wall Street. They're not talking about reparations for Bruce Beach. They're not talking about reparations for any motherfucking thing that has to do with anything Black, you guys. There's never any green for Black. Did you notice that? But there's a lot of green for Ukraine and Israel. Interesting. And they get actual green. They don't get like infrastructure. That's how they're talking about doing reparations for foundational Black Americans. They want to fix infrastructure. So the roads everybody rides on is what needs to get fixed for Black people. Oh, and since Black women happen to be one of the largest populations of higher educated humans in America, they're not the only ones with high ass debt from college. But because they happen to be a large percent of that, what we will do is forgive some of your student loans. But it's not just for us. That's not repairing us. Or they'll have a committee on how they can have some, I don't even know what else they could think of at a committee. I mean, DEI is out of school and everything. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm digressing. I started talking about reparations and justice for my fucking people. Let's move on. Yes, Be More Shorty. She did the DL, helped me so much in the beginning. When Twitter first started, they were a lifesaver. Right on. Oh, what's good, Belize? ASD is genetic, and Tylenol has been in recent med reports that will trigger in children. Yes. Okay. So that's one way that it's showing that medicines can trigger things in children. Wow. See that? Hey, yes. Get those likes up if you haven't already. I hope I have 20 likes in here. Let me see. What do I have? Do I need to like my own motherfucking video today, you guys? Let's see. I'm not too proud to like my own video, you guys. Let me see. How many likes do we have? I hope we have 3 likes. Ooh, 16. I just made 17. Ha ha. Ha ha. For whoever didn't want to like, I just liked it for you. Now I only need one more to get for however many people are watching. But I understand if you don't have thumbs that are working. It's all good. We all do what we can. We all are doing our best, I know. IEPs help them get special services that will get them through the educational system. Yes, an IEP will enable them to get services in college and get the SAT, ACT as well. Right on. Speaking as a parent that has been through the process with a mother who graduated with a major in early childhood ed and applied psych, IEPs are a good thing, especially for a child on a diploma track. Right on. Well, that's good. That's excellent. When my grandson was there, we knew something wasn't right. I suspected autism, and California doctors refused to classify him as autistic. They claimed he had to be at least 7 years to be Really? Really? Interesting, because yeah, they have a lot of mom groups out here that are all about that life and making the vax people do right by their kids. Yeah, they're all about it. But you do have to kind of find them. You know, they could have helped maybe. He's 9 years now, and they finally put him on the spectrum. Yeah. Once you are on spectrums in California, I feel like the resources here is particularly, they have a lot of good resources for people that need resources. Sometimes a kid can be labeled for life. Yes, 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 yes. And okay, back to life insurance. If you're diagnosed as a child with ADHD or something, I believe you become uninsurable as an adult for some carriers, you guys. Yeah, happy Sunday. Oh, she's saying that isn't true. You need to contact ASAP to get some. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I think you could have got help with that. It's true because it happened to you, and hopefully you'll be able to get help with something to move you forward, because there are ways to move forward, you know. Chance, he has to move up the spectrum. Oh, to get some help. With these children, behavioral science is critical in their coping world and in the classroom. We got him help. Autism's difficult. So many spectrums. Yeah. 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 Wow. That isn't been Brendan's experience. IEPs in Florida's situation probably has IEP that could have had as a coping mech. Never. Yeah. DM. Yeah. DM Corey. You're right. Florida is Florida. Florida be Florian, right? Agree. Anyone who needs help with ASD, feel free to DM Corey. Right on. Right on. Right on, Delise. Thanks for following me over there on the Instagrams. Appreciate it. Let's see. So we were going to my history, and we are going to go look at this video that I saw earlier about this woman who is a freaking LMFT. That's a therapist, a licensed family therapist. And she broke down the woman who is Amanda Seales so good that that's where we were when we digressed to this whole IEP and Florida situation. But I really thought this lady broke it down.
Sharp and Amanda Seales interview, because the things that went on, the gaslighting, let's get into it. Now, if you're new here, I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and make sure you like and you subscribe. Now, from the beginning, it was hard for me to watch. I felt like there was just so much gaslighting, okay? And I think that people are trying to approach Amanda in a certain light, gain control. And I'm not sure because she's a Black woman, because of the things that she said, are just like the hate train that follows her. Okay, now Shannon Sharp showed me not everybody needs a mic. Okay, we gonna have to do something about these podcast mics because everybody, they can just plug in one and be a journalist. Okay, and he showed me today that we need to do something about pulling that plug. Okay, there's a difference between having skill, there's a difference between being prepared, having years of journalism experience, versus like, hey, you know what? Let me start a podcast. Yeah, let me get some of my boys too to do it. Now, he does have a lot of notoriety. His podcasts do very well, but I also think Shannon, maybe the elevator is not going always to the top. Okay, because in this interview, it just felt like he did not put in the time, the effort to know about ASD, things related to Amanda. He was unfamiliar. Okay, I think he probably, his people maybe did like a quick little Google search, but they didn't really put in the time or the energy to prepare for the interview and make it like the other ones. And so I just felt like, why is this man interjecting? Why is this man always just gaslighting? Can she get a word in? Okay. Now, the way he was asking questions, it was just basic. It was like, what are we doing here? And it was 3 hours. Now, I like Amanda, I do. But to sit through a 3-hour podcast, to listen to a 3-hour podcast, and I know there's a lot of funding, marketing dollars in there because the longer it is, the probably more money he gonna make because there's more advertising dollars. But what about my ears? What about my ears? And now people are saying, you know, in my comments on my TikTok video, oh, you just new to this, Amanda. Oh, you brand new. I'm like, no. I said that Amanda is finally living her truth. She's not protecting anyone anymore. And people are like, oh, you knew this. No, this is a different Amanda. Similar, but not the same. Okay. Now, this Amanda to me has grown. She understands a lot about the way she functions in society, the way society looks at her and projects her. Okay. And with that, she has decided, and I am going to live in my truth. I am going to stop being a people pleaser. I'm going to stop living for other people and protecting other people, as we saw in this interview. Now, it takes a lot of courage to openly say that you have ASD or you're living with. I always say living with because no one is their diagnosis, but to be living with ASD. And to me, it gave a lot of Black women, I see you, I hear you, and they felt seen, they felt heard. And it was interesting, the dynamic that we often see when a strong Black woman is having a conversation and try to have an intellectual conversation. A man is like, oh, let me put you in a box. Let me water you down. Let me impede on what you are saying with your journey. Okay, because around here, I have the power, and I'm not going to let a woman come and take my power from me. That's what I got from it. And there are so many women living with ASD, but because when they were younger, they didn't have atypical signs of ASD. A lot of Black women have high functioning, or live with high functioning ASD, autism spectrum disorder, that is being diagnosed later in life. And when parents look at the symptoms, the behaviors, now as an adult person, their parents are like, oh, I saw a lot of this. And it could have been because of resources that they know how to really go about it. It could have been like, once again, back then, the 80s, 90s, my child, you don't put a label on my child? No, my child's gonna sit with the rest of them kids. Ain't nothing wrong with my kid. The denial, the stigma. And so a lot of people grew up having all these behavioral issues, not having a lot of friends, going through different things because parents didn't know. Some parents were naive. Some parents didn't want the stigma to follow their child. And so Amanda, to me, is showing all that and explaining her own story. And so I think a lot of Black women feel seen. I, in my own practice, see a lot of Black women and men who are living with ASD. I do. I see the different things. And when I talk to them about it, they're like, what? Me? They're just like, that can never be me because they're so still caught up on the atypical things related to ASD. But a lot of Black people do have different things on the neurodivergent spectrum, the continuum, but because of the stigma, we are still afraid to talk about it. But it's people like Amanda who are breaking that stigma. Okay, now Shannon Sharp,
he don't have the emotional capacity for some of these conversations. And I get that Club Shay is supposed to be a safe space, but that space does not hold very well to things that are above him. Okay? And it felt like at times watching this interview, Amanda was wasting her vulnerability on a space that cannot hold that. You guys have to be careful about who you share and pour your vulnerability into as you're growing and you're healing and you're deciding, I want to be more transparent, I want to be more vulnerable, because not all the spaces are equipped to hold that for you. And not everyone deserves that part of you. You have to learn how to navigate and pick and figure out who is really worth my vulnerability. Because it took you long enough to get here, okay? We've been working on it for years, but now you finally feel like, okay, I'm allowing myself to be human and vulnerable, but not everyone deserves that part of you. And Shannon did not deserve that part of her. She showed that man so much grace. And he was not deserving of it. At times, it felt like he just shut down. It wasn't really engaging like we see in the other interviews. He just was not prepared. And I think he thought, oh, it's Amanda. I can get on here and just like do whatever. Amanda is smart. Amanda is knowledgeable. She's intelligent. She knows what she's talking about. But the hate train are always going to say Amanda's a problem. That isn't the narrative, because it's easy to fall into the trope of she's a problem and see that some of the people around her are a problem. Okay, some of the relationships or dynamics, it's not Amanda. But once again, sometimes we get so used to being in love, having these parasocial relationships with the image of the person that we see on TV and music, movies, that we forget there's a human being behind that person. And that human being might not match the image that's presented that we buy into and that we love. Speaking of which, let's talk about what she said about Issa Rae. Now, there will be no slander on Issa Rae, but at the same time, I really love her, but we gotta be equal. Okay, I can't come on here and just side with one person. I have to really look at both parts. And in this situation with her and Issa, it sounds like in the beginning there's a lot of miscommunication, assumptions made on both parts. And according to Amanda, because you know, there's three sides to the story. Each person's side, and then there's the truth. And the only people who know what really happened were at that dinner that she talked about having with her and having to, let's talk about, do you got beef with me? And according to Amanda, Issa's like, do you got beef with me? So in the beginning, it seemed like there was a miscommunication, but over time, it kind of exploded. Now, I am not on the set. I was not there. Half of y'all wasn't there either. So the people who only know what happened are on the set. And maybe they'll come out, maybe they'll share their stories. But I did notice once the season started to come to an end, we saw less and less of Amanda. And according to Amanda, she decided, I'm not going to play the role no more. You done gone off on me too many times. And I ain't that girl. So I didn't see her at the after party when the show wrapped. Half the episodes in that last season, she really wasn't there. They seemed like they wrote her off. But once again, is it that we are so in love with the image of the person that we can't see past that? But once again, you know, I love me some Issa, but I do understand that sometimes women do not get along for multiple reasons. That can be from trauma, that can be from attitudes, relationships. Not everyone's going to be friends with each other. And you can like both of these women and not feel like we have to put the other person down. They can exist, or in this case, since the show is over, they don't have to exist no more and still be collecting a check on each end. Okay. But the interview to me was a lot of gaslighting. Shannon Sharp needs to really work with someone on how to interview. And it's a clear example of how people just get these podcast mics, plug them in, get a laptop, hire a production crew, an editing crew, and go to a studio and think they got it down. And the views will show you that, oh, he must have it together. But when you watch it, it's terrible. Okay? And as he elevates and gets more people on his show, he also needs to elevate. Because it wasn't that great to see him sitting there, interrupting her, questioning her. He had no idea what ASD was. And some of y'all are saying it's the CTE. Okay? Some of it is just that he ain't all there. Okay, there's some intellectual processing that's not going on. And maybe he himself should get tested to see what's really going on up there, because it showed just like, now Shannon, okay, what are we doing here? This ain't the interview that you want us to see, right? I need you to get it together. But I appreciate her talk about people pleasing. She people pleased a lot in her last relationship. And we saw that ended. And just how she's choosing to have a voice and not be watered down and not fall into the what you should do in Hollywood to make it. And she has probably lost a lot of management and things like that because of her her protests and advocating for people in marginalized communities. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you guys think of this interview? Well, no matter what, where, how Amanda says it, will people still think that she is, unfortunately, an angry Black woman, that she is the problem? What do you guys think? Now, if you got this far in the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you, of course, in the next video.
Okay, you guys, like I said, that is from Denise Brady, LMFT. And I saw this morning when I got up, and I was like, Self, you're going to have to play that because that is an excellent synopsis. And I agree wholeheartedly with what this lady said. In my opinion, we need to leave her alone. Amanda Seales needs to get left alone. Let her truth be her truth, her experience interpretation be her experience rendering, and what she says is real for her is real for her. I feel like a lot of people are doing exactly what she says, which is finding an issue with her over nothing. Nothing. I said it, and I'll say it again. If we live in a world where I can tell you that you better call me they, and if you don't, it's a problem, because it really is. If I'm in a world where I can literally decide I can want to be something that's the opposite of what I am in my mind, and tell you that, and you have to participate in my reality of what I'm saying I'm experiencing. Are you following me? So if that world exists, where you can look the opposite of what you're telling me your reality is, based off of whatever construct or gender classification that you decide you want to insert in this conversation. If that is the norm, which it is, every platform I go on, every application you fill out wants to know what your new pronouns are. They're adding another construct for us to engage in, and people are participating wholeheartedly, making it reality as part of their experience. But people are sitting here literally telling Amanda that the experiences that she has experienced aren't the way she's experienced them, and that she's lying. Really? So we have a whole new box to check for pronouns because it's part of reality based off of experience, personal experience. But you're telling this Black woman who sat there and expressed to us different experiences that she's had while being Black, and the ridicule, persecution, and judgment that she's endured for simply existing, as it were, and people are calling her a liar. People are finding fault with her, saying that she could self-diagnose herself. Look, bitch, I just told you to call me they, and you did. But you're going to sit here and try to tell me that Amanda can't call herself ADD? Really? Excuse me while I watch you kick rocks and walk away, because I'm not engaging in a conversation with you. In a world where you're they, I'm we, and together we're us, and there's a new box for pronoun checking, if you trying to sit here and tell me that Amanda's experience and what she just said is true for her isn't true for her, because what? Because it's not a clinical diagnosis? Or because what? She had to have done something else? Or it's because what? Her tone? Fuck her tone. Or it's because what? She used too many words? Everybody gets the same opportunity to use too many words. I just don't understand. I feel like everybody who is continuing to engage in negativity around her are proving her right. She's some kind of catalyst for triggering something in people to look at her and just be like, oh, I just hate her. Just look at her. She's fucking, and I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. People are acting like when Amanda Seales' mouth, like she's Mia Thornton from Real Housewives of Potomac. Every time Mia Thornton's lips are moving, lies are literally coming out. It's either an outright lie or lie adjacent. And she's getting first chair on shows and people are praising her as the best thing since sliced motherfucking bread in Potomac. That, in addition to, we have new pronouns to check. In addition to, I can decide that I'm something and tell you that that's how you better treat me. But Amanda is wrong. Oh, and Shannon is the sharpest knife in the drawer. Really, you guys? Really? There was no problem with the way that ass was acting, treating her, his guest on his show. Really, he wasn't combative. Really, there was nothing wrong with how he said what he said and his posture and his combativeness and just like the awkward energy that he was giving off to her. Really? Really? When he was excusing racism? Really? For children having to accept racism? Really? That was all okay with you guys, huh? And then when he sat up there the next day, he basically said that she created this reality from noticing that this shit always happens to her. In a way, that's very, very true. Yeah, in a way, that's very true. But it's kind of like in Matrix. Did he knocked the vase down because she said, watch out? Or was he already going to accidentally knock the vase down? We'll never really know. Now, with the whole chicken and egg thing, it kind of feels obvious that the fucking chicken came first. Like it just popped out grown and then had an egg. I don't know. Because the egg had to come from something is my thought pattern. And it had to come from a chicken, so the chicken must have come first. Huh. Or not. Okay. So that's all we wanted to talk about Amanda. Now, today, last night, we had the third and final installation for the show Love and Marriage DC. And Emmanuel is here, right on. Shout out to Emmanuel. Can somebody drop his link, please? Because Emmanuel is Manny's TV talking these YouTube streets. And he was like, Curves, you got to watch DC. And so I tapped in when they went on that trip. And which trip was it? They were at the trip. They were at the cabin when Black and Joy kind of got into it. That's kind of when I tapped in. So it wasn't a full season. And I know that's very Bethany Frankel of me, but but I have opinions, and I kind of feel like Joy and Clifton should not have entertained Carmen and her friendship. And I really feel like Clifton came off looking like quite a Mitch last night. Yeah. He only had something to say when he was starting static against DJ Fun Size. He doesn't have nothing to say in defense of his wife while that lady is sitting across the couch, practically making your wife cry. And you're going to be like, oh, I hope there's a way they can get along. Bitch, your wife is sitting here crying, talking about she don't even want, because of you, she's even in this fucking situation. And here you are, not saying anything, looking down the whole time. And then somebody who watches on a regular basis, can somebody tell me or not, did I just hear that Clifton had some health issues where he was like paralyzed and Joy had to nurse him back to health and was really there for him? Did that really happen? Because like I said, I didn't watch. I just heard, I don't know why I think I heard that somewhere. But, oh, there we are. But, that makes last night even worse if it is true that I thought he said something like he had a blood clot on his spine and he couldn't walk and he couldn't move and Joy was there for him and da-da-da-da. I could swear that was a whole conversation. So then he's going to take his ass and sit next to her on that couch and turn to her after she says how she feels about being put in the position to have to like this girl for her to turn around on national TV and go and say disparaging things about her to her enemies on the show where he's bringing her around. But there's a lot to be said for Joy too in this whole thing, because PR or not, how did you end up my now husband's best friend when we both met him on the same Ready to Love dating show, didn't we? I have way more questions than answers at this point. Does it strike anybody else as strange that Carmen and Clifton call themselves best friends, but they just met on a game show to find love? And people are, is it me or am I supposed to? That shit is weird to me. And everybody's acting like, oh, that's just normal shit. That's weird. Why call a grown woman who you rejected as a lover your best friend? Why call a grown man who you rejected as a lover your best friend? It's kind of like customer service. I guess the definitions have just changed. Because best friends usually entails you knowing my deepest, darkest secrets and being there for me in my lowest times and for an extended period of time, like years and years and years and years. I haven't walked up to somebody and even said, will you be my friend, since I was like, what, 4th grade, 3rd grade, something on the playground. Remember, you just walk up to people and you're like, will you be my friend? after not knowing like what quality of human they were or anything, just taking any and all applicants. Will you be my friend? Will you be my friend? It's kind of freaking weird, you guys. It's fucking weird. And I just don't understand why Joy tolerated that shit. I can see trying to get cool points and being a cool girlfriend where I'm not nagging you about this person you told me was your best friend. But as a viewer who only saw what I told you was what, since the time where Black and her were getting into it, I could tell that Carmen was not checking for Joy at all. At all. Like zilch. Like almost like you again look on her face every time Joy pulled up. Not a smile, but a sneer. That's all I was peeping. And I peeped Joy being like, well, here we go. Let's make nice with this shit. And I peeped Clifton being like, oh, it's working. So I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I peep game. I read energy. I'm not usually too wrong every single fucking time. I'm like, oh, look, that person and that person's going to end up together. They end up together. I see that. I can see a who-res from a mile away. And we all know what a who-res is, right? Go write who-res on a piece of paper. But write it as one word, not two. Who-res. AKA whore. Home wrecking whores. I can spot them from a mile away. I can spot somebody from a mile away who's just sitting back of the bus style, waiting for you to trip up so they can swoop in and be Mrs. Goodbar. Mrs. Oh, let me wipe your tears away. That bitch was never who was for you anyway. I can spot them from a mile away. And that's the whole vibe I was getting from Carmen, you guys. And that's not Joy's fault. That me as a viewer was able to surmise that this had who-res potential written all over it. But Carmen, last night at the reunion, after going around and telling everybody that would listen that she wasn't Joy's friend, knowing full well Joy thought she was her friend. I mean, and literally sitting down with her enemies and just telling them everything, and then going to their YouTube channels and telling them some more. All after being an employee for her alleged best friend and just telling all this stuff about their relationship. Like, that doesn't sound very professional. But that's the thing, when you blur the line and make your best friend somehow your business partner or your PR person. So catch this dirt. So, okay. And then on that, so Carmen's job is PR, public relations. That means that she's basically supposed to be what? Olivia fucking Pope, right? She's supposed to be a spin doctor. She's supposed to be able to make, gold thread out of freaking straw, right? She's supposed to make us interested where we're not usually interested, isn't she? In that respect, I think she did pretty well. Because she made me interested in where I wasn't previously interested. I'm telling you, I wasn't trying to watch. But now I'm questioning everything she said. Because if your job is spinning shit for public consumption and relations, then you of all people know how it looks with you rubbing on his beard like that, how it looks with you then coming on after a season of rubbing on his beard and saying there's nothing wrong with it and putting yourself in their marriage. Like at any time, as soon as Joy showed up, a real one who's not waiting for word to be in the cleanup crew would remove herself from that situation. I'm thinking like, why would you even be a third wheel for some newlyweds? It just is weird. No, okay. Thank you, baby. Why would you even be a third wheel for some newlyweds who you were not his choice on the show where he became your best friend? Plus, you keep saying you have a new man who you were on Below Deck with and who was on this show with you this morning with. And you guys had nothing nice to say about your ex-employer. Nothing nice. Bitter much? I'm like, whoa. And then she said some bullshit like Joy, she was mad that Joy didn't shut down the throuple rumors because it makes her look like a home wrecking whore. But she's the one that's in PR, you guys. Her job is to either shut shit down or spin that shit, isn't it? But she's mad at her best friend's wife because she didn't do her job as a public relations person and shut the shit down. And then in the live they did this morning, the interview they did over there, they said that there was some producer. No, they said Jamie was trying to push the story. Jamie was pushing the story. Jamie was pushing the story. So how is Joy catching a stray for Jamie pushing a throuple situation that Clifton is benefiting from and that Carmen is there in a job capacity to be the PR person for? I kind of feel like Carmen wants to be anywhere Clifton is at this point. That's just weird because you didn't have to come on the show. You didn't have to come on the show and be all in those awkward scenes. If you were really so concerned with being seen as a throuple, then why were you always there as a third wheel to this newlywed couple? And even if it was some like, I don't know. So if you were there to meet him and then you guys did a shoot and then Joy comes, then just gracefully bow out and say, oh, I have something to do and go someplace else since you got a man. If you got a man, then why are you with me and my man so much on camera to the point where people think you don't have a man because you don't even mention, oh, he's waiting in the car or nothing. And then basically Joy says, you know, I loved you. You know, I really thought you were my friend. Because Joy is a good wife. Joy doesn't want no problems with her new husband who keeps saying, I chose her, I chose her, I chose her, I chose her. Chose to treat her like shit. Let her sit up here and fight all these battles, not say nothing. He hardly said nothing at the cabin. He had a little something to say to Ashley. And then he shut up. He don't say nothing for his wife. He don't say nothing when his best friend sat on the reunion couch and basically said, well, she said for sure, out of respect, I was friends with your wife because I'm a pretty woman and pretty women can't do business with men and not be friendly to the wife. So it was all just a money grab. And now she's done grabbing money and her and Clifton aren't best friends anymore. Interesting. Okay, let's see. What does palaver girl mean? Let's see. Yeah, well, I don't know. Somebody said in the comments something about Meghan Markle. Yeah, we keep it super respectful, you guys. Keep it respectful. You guys can disagree. I just demand respect. Disagree all day. I demand respect. You don't have to agree with shit, but respect each other. If you are calling, look, I make up nicknames all day. All day I make up nicknames for people. Okay? Um, but it's not to be like, it's just kidding. It's just kidding. Well, I guess Ashley's head full of lies isn't really kidding. It's a fact. But overall, it's just kidding. I'm not trying to yeah, we don't have to, we're not doing personal attacks. We're not doing none of that over here. LRGA Curves, all opinions are welcome. We don't have to agree, but we're going to respect over people over here. We're going to respect each other. We're not getting at each other personally. Keep it on topic. Keep it on topic. There's enough for us to put all this to the reality world. Okay? Won't be having it. Won't be having it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not real sure what's going on. I'm kind of putting them up, but I'm not reading them all. Yeah, I'm not sure why everybody hates Meghan Markle. I'm like, can people let Meghan Markle live too? I mean, dude, like, what did Meghan do to anybody? Why is Meghan into what's on with Meghan? Agents of Chaos. She's in California making jam. Yeah, poor Joy, right, Emmanuel? Like, it's really disgusting that Clifton would have put her in that situation for somebody. So, Emmanuel, do you know, when did Clifton and Carmen meet? And if it was on the show, do you also think it's very strange that these grown people are immediately calling each other best friends after rejecting each other as lovers? Isn't that very weird? Yeah, I don't know. You guys are all over the freaking place. You guys are all over. So here's this. I was in this chat earlier and I was just asking questions. I did subscribe to this person. This is Kashmina.
Yeah, because you are flooding my chat with good things that she has. That's the one time she,
right? So after they sat her next winter, so it was kind of like, okay, us.
So I happened to catch this live. Let's add this to the stage. Shout out to Kashmina Reviews. I was over there as a person in the chat. Does she have a live chat replay? It doesn't look like it. But she put a lot of my comments up on the screen. And this is Carmen. This is Carmen. And she's here on a panel with Kashmina, the receipt queen. And this lady, Alicia Allure. Oh, she did not like my questions, you guys. And I don't know. I don't feel like when you ask a question or observe something as behavior and then ask a person about that's necessarily negative. I mean, you literally did that shit on TV for me to see. So if I think that you were motherfucking rude to Joy and I asked, why were you so rude to Joy? I don't know why this freaking panel was like, why are you being so negative, LRGA Curves? Who sent you? Okay, I'm just asking because literally that was I feel like that was trifling behavior for that was trifling behavior. I just feel like it was trifling fucking behavior. That's what I feel like. And I was asking, why were you being so mean? Why were you being so rude?
It's like I heard, and it's negative. So you already bringing me in a certain way, right? So the whole Carmen.
Because I feel like, and I said this yesterday in my video, I said Carmen is a star. I love Mary DC. Y'all better not.
the whole LeBron's push. I don't know, but she became the star. So, you know, we kind of hear us going in and we're kind of like frustrated because, first of all, let's start with, and they clapped when you came on. Like, to me, that is just rude.
Listen, she ate that white dress down. You hear me?
Baby,
Mama
that
was
white dress
eating down.
She was eating.
They was hating. They was hating.
She was eating.
I tell people though, I tell people all the time, don't hate on me, appreciate me, level up.
Listen, it was I didn't feel no. I think Carlos was doing a little too much with that. Did they clap when Yusha came on?
I can't remember.
So there was only, did they clap when Sherelle lived? I don't think so. So I don't
Well,
know.
you know what? When Sherelle and them got on the stage, they was already there. Like, they didn't introduce you.
Right.
The way that, so they introduced you.
They did.
When Yusha and Sherelle and Black were on, they were already on stage when they came back from a quote unquote commercial break. When you were introduced, like you walked in on camera and it was, we see it, you walked in on camera. So it's not the same because by the time Yusha and Sherelle was already sitting down. So no, we don't know if they did, if they clapped or not because it was coming back from a commercial break, which is not clap.
Yes, you were introduced. Yes, ma'am.
You were introduced.
The whole intro. Love it.
Even they stood and played the fake clap, a round of applause clap. So they didn't clap it at all.
Yeah, you know, I was like, I thought I was, normally they put you on stage and they're like, now we have Harmon, you know. So I think they have used me through the whole season, honestly. Like, oh, here comes Harmon. You know, because you're right, that wouldn't make sense just having me on the couch when you come back from commercial break. So they wanted that, you know, you know, like they wanted that. So my thing is, I'm not even a friend of the show. I'm not really affiliated with the show. And I think that some people was like, why is she here?
Well, they need to put that dun on your check, okay?
So I think they're like, why is she here? I think that, you know, I may make people feel uncomfortable. And why am I here? Why were you all speaking about me when I wasn't here? So people feel like every time I come in, I'm permanent hard. Yes, because every time I come in, y'all had 10 conversations about me. And now I gotta be surrounded by people and answer questions like they're like the judge and jury. So I'm always like, it's not like, hey, I heard you just wrote a book. Hey, oh my God, I heard you have a pick. It's like I heard and it's negative. So you already written me in a certain way, right? So the whole Carmen coming in, and you gotta remember, you guys don't know, I was standing behind, and I see the scene where Raina's like, yeah, I had to tell Joey, and she fired her. So I came in a little hot, like,
I didn't laugh at that. I didn't forget my dad either. She was like, well, you didn't have to tell Joey, you chose to tell Joey. And Jamie forgot, she was saying, oh Lord, you justified that she was being nasty. And Jamie wasn't even wanting it. You could tell Jamie kind of got quiet through the entire segment. We rewinded. I could swear I heard him say, not saying chill like verbatim, but something to say like, Ray, calm down. One thing I want to ask you, because even when it got to the point where it's about the whole you and Joy friendship, let's just say Joy really liked the opportunity to say too much. But I wanted to end up the part where they said she didn't feel protected. The part that I like to call it, what she said, not just everybody, I'm talking about you too, because that whole thing in the little winter hell getaway, nobody was protecting Joy. But you were being real and said, you know, I'm just responding because of the fact he's my best friend, but you and his wife, that offended her. And I kept trying to replay and figure out why was she offended. Because most women, you know, their best friend's a guy. Most times they'll get along with the wife or girlfriend. No one will give a shit if you or not. You make conscious effort to say, because my best friend is married, I'm going to, you know, make an effort to be a part and be also a friend and include in things of nature. So I want to know, did you feel hurt by that? Because when Joy came out, like, oh, I felt offended by it. Bro, she made it perfectly clear, that's my dude, my best friend. But you know, we cool too, ain't got no issue. That's the way I took it. So I want you to say for yourself because you couldn't hardly speak last night. She kept over talking.
well, the problem is, she knew not to let me speak. She knew not to, basically, look at how she's talking. She wanted me to lie. She's like, you should PR it. PR it means I should have said it a certain way. Not the truth, not my truth. I should have said it in a way that made her feel okay. My thing is, you know who's your best friend and who's not. How did she think I was her best friend and I didn't know that? How did that happen? How did we have all these deep conversations and I wasn't there? I asked Clifton after I said that. That's why he didn't really want to say I was wrong was because he knows we're not best friends. So am I wrong for telling my truth? With the wrong part is I said it in front of, like, that's my truth. Joy, you know we're not best friends. We're friends. Which I understand. So you're mad because I'm not identifying you as my best friend? And then you were my best friend when I was talking to the lady, you walked away, and then you called me Clutch's number 2 in your casting. It said Connor's my best friend. So later, now I didn't hear these conversations. So every time I come on the scene, the conversations I'm hearing are y'all interrupting. So her talking to Raina and her saying, I love Connor and all that, I wasn't there to know. So of course the audience is looking like, she took over you. How did I know that? Because every time I was in the room, Joy was fine. I'm not supposed to.
So, Emmanuel, thanks for answering my question. Yeah, they met on the show, see? And I think it's weird yes, me too. I think it's weird. They're calling each other best friends. How long? Look at you guys. If you have a best friend, how long did it take for you to call them your best friend? If it's more than 2 years, put a 1 in the chat. If it's within 3 months, somebody's your best friend, put a 5 in the chat. Because I think that this is some weird shit. Okay? And I actually am also feeling like Carmen is acting a little bitter that she didn't get chosen and that she's only around to be a she was only around to be a thorn in Joy's side. Because if you have your whole own man, then why are you inviting your best friend around with you? That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Because also in this interview, her boyfriend, the one who was on Below Deck, is in this interview with her. Let's get to that. And he comes in hot, talking mad shit. He don't have nothing good to say. He said that he was never Clifton's friend. So, squeeze me. You were never Clifton's friend. And she was never Joy's friend. So both you two are suckers, letting your others have these outside relationships where the person doesn't respect you. And look, if they don't respect your spouse, they don't respect you by proxy, period. Put a pin in it. It should be done. Oh, conversation over. If you're disrespecting my husband, bitch, I'm not fucking with you. And if you're disrespecting my wife and tolerating her, basically, because this is not respect, going around to her known enemies so you can set your record straight because you care what her enemies think about you. But you just said you're not on the show. You're just a friend of Clifton, obviously. You made it clear you're not Joy's friend, because if you were ever anything to Joy or respected her, even as Cliff's partner, you wouldn't have taken your ass, as round as it is, over with Ashley and Winter and started commiserating with them on Joy. Oh, well, if she's wrong, I'm going to tell her she's wrong. Why do you have to go tell people that aren't fucking with your best friend's wife how wrong your best friend's wife is? Is that conducive to you and your best friend's relationship? Or is it just something to further drive a wedge between your best friend and his wife so you can be there to pick up his balls with your mouth? Some people are really in it for the long game. Some people will covet thy neighbor's wife or husband for a very long time before the opportunity presents itself for them to pounce and insert their balls in their mouth. Waiting for the perfect opportunity to catch you slipping so they can give your man a BJ. It's the truth.
Know that because you watch it. So I'm obviously somebody that you watch it. And I'm in a lot of rooms that you in and a lot of rooms that you're not in, big girl. So it's very clear that I am a somebody and I'm on the same couch or couches and area that you are on this speech. Don't blame me. So I want to ask everything. This the whole part where it's when Irene was coming for Harvey. I didn't ask you this part. What do you think about that? I'm asking everybody. Don't come with Erica. She's like Erica. No. No. It ain't okay. Wait. Come on, okay. Oh, come on, bro. Love it. Come on. Period. Come on, down. Come on. Oh, no, stop right. You know me, I'm very into it. Go ahead. Tell them what it is. Are you with this friend? He was cool before. You got to chat. I thought he was funny. I thought he was kind of funny before. But now, I'm not much. I would say friends. I think Tom said it like I was, I guess, associates with based on I was dating and because he's around. I felt safe when he was around, so we were associates. I am associates with now. I don't like that all now. Oh wow. It's like, I don't like people that go to narrative, does all these riddles and weird stuff. We think it's possibility. He does too much rhymes riddles. So I don't like that's from my perspective. So we ain't cool. He was associates before based on the video. They're so sexy. They're so cute. I swear. Like, can you say that you weren't friends with him before you met Carmen? How you? Because apparently there's people in the chat that was into the chat. So can you repeat and say how you met her? Oh, I mean, Carmen? Yeah, because I'm going to tell you on Facebook dating. I was messaging her and I kept messaging her, and so she gave me a chance. And then, I never really been in the DMV area, so I didn't jump in the car and drive out here. She was training out right in DC, but she's in Virginia, so she got me in DC. We hung out. The day I met Clifton, I met her manager that same day. I met even Clifton's son was there. I met them all because they were having like a meeting or something.
And then
hold on, thing right quick. Y'all be entertained for all these things. Y'all not gonna do like that with 20 likes. I'm gonna do me a favor, hit that like button, please.
Yeah, smash that like button if you haven't already.
I'm sorry, but they can't go ahead and continue.
Yeah, cool. We just met in DC up there. We all went to the hotel. He was in the lobby, and then he had like a meeting with him. So I met Clifton that day. I mean, he was cool to me then. I mean, he was cordial. He never acted weird around me. He always gave me safe vibes when I was around him. We went on vacation. We was chilling. I liked him. He was cool. But as time goes, people show their real character. So that's why I can't. Once you mess up once with me, I can't rock with you. You show me who you are. That's all I need to see.
Hey, why do you think they don't want to identify that you exist?
Oh, I mean, I mean, 100%. They want to fit the narrative, and I think that they mastered trying to manipulate the storyline. It was easy. I mean, she's on the show for like 5 minutes in the beginning, so people draw up a whole conclusion based off of that, and they didn't have a storyline. To me, I mean, I watched the show. It was, I mean, to me, they're very boring. Without you take outside of that situation, you're not watching the show. Really wouldn't watch the show without that part. The whole show was based off their marriage was real, and then this Carmen's the second half. Without those two things,
come on.
It was a very boring. Nobody got to the joint relationship. You know nothing about it. Nothing about their house. Nothing about their living situation. They don't answer any questions. They
we do know about the living situation. It was 40 years. How much is the rate mama? She said $4,500 a month. Your mama left. But
It's not posting pictures of Jamie. Why you just mad?
So are we missing something? Are we missing something, Carmen? Okay, why she was so upset?
I think she had decided that she was gonna come in and handle everybody, but she don't know me like that. And I'm like, you need to mind your business and get some business. And I guess the ladies think that they can overtalk. Overtalking does not make you right, okay? Overtalking does not make you right because I'm gonna throw facts. If you had business, you wouldn't be in my business or Joy's business. Stay in your business, in your household.
Hold on, wait a minute, because the people in the chat to get my net. I'm trying very hard. Everybody know me. I done had Jack Daniels in me and everything. Please, I'm trying, and y'all trying to make it. So call a spade a spade. Sad, you ladies don't see Carmen as a liar, opportunity, or fraud. Hold on real quick, let me take a look back. So me, myself, I've known Carmen for a minute before I married DC. So why am I going to call her, why am I going to call her a liar, opportunity, or fraud? Whatever's going on, I don't just base it on this show. I've known her previous. My relationships are the years is making not a day, a week, or because I just saw her this and I'm not trying to be funny, but if Carmen was fat and ugly, would we be having this conversation?
No.
Okay.
Easy answer. No.
Wow. Okay, so if Carmen was fat and ugly, I don't think it was the fact that she didn't know. I don't think it was the fact that she didn't know he existed, but was he her real man? Because I did report here that I was told that, like that situation was not real. It was like about paying for, some social. Well, I wish them nothing but the best, and I hope that they aren't getting next point party for below deck and having a TV. At that point in time, I think for me.
Yeah, so it was an interesting interview.
They didn't show that.
Oh, this part.
Wow. So
that's false. But you wanted me to defend you with your friends about the truth. I'm asking you to say the truth.
So I could have sworn that he did answer the question. Your fan of the chat, LRGA, saying that he didn't answer the question about was he ever attracted to Carmen. I thought he did. Did I miss that?
His answer was Carmen is an attractive woman. He didn't say whether he was attracted to her or not. So it's implied that everybody would be attracted to her. But I believe, from what I recall, is what he said was she's an attractive woman. It's obviously true.
Right.
So, well, they cut out some scenes because there was more questions after that.
Was it really? Okay. What's the other question? Because go ahead.
So Carlos doubled down and was like, first he said, "Were you attracted to Carmen going ready to love?" And he was like, "Carmen's an attractive woman." Then he said, "Are you attracted to her?" That was the second question. And he says, "I think Carmen is a beautiful woman. Anybody would be attracted to Carmen," something like that. But then the third question was, "Are you attracted to Carmen?" And he said, "Yes." They didn't show that. That's where it got weird.
Wow. So they didn't really miss it. So they didn't show the part. So he did say he was attracted. That is crazy.
Okay, Ashley said that on Twitter. Ashley said it on Twitter.
Say it again. Say it again, Carmen. Say it again.
Which one?
What you just said? You said the question they cut out. Go ahead.
The question they cut out was, "Are you attracted to Carmen?" And he responded, "Yes." And I was like, "Why would you say that?" I mean, thank you, but no, thank you, because that's all in a weird situation. And when I was going ready to make it very clear, I think Clifton was a funny, nice guy, but I have the love of my life. There is no attraction between Clifton. I look at him as a brother and someone that I can laugh with and hang out with and do business with. So the whole thing about, oh, you want Clifton, I don't want Clifton. I want my man
I love my man. And I think that him and Joy should have amazing black life, black love, have babies, enjoy everything. And I want them to have a great love story. And let me have a great love story.
So,
I love cooking.
so that is what she was saying, you guys. And that's why I left your comment up here, Emmanuel. The way she's talking today, now that they are not cool, is very telling. There was some other chatter in this chat about a deleted video, and why did she delete a video if it was also innocent? Very interesting. But yeah, I feel like Joy is not the spirit of negativity everybody's saying. I feel like just based off of what I saw, it looked like they didn't get to really tell their story a lot because she was in defense mode the whole time, having to run around and put out little fires from people like who's it's called? People like Ashley telling her story for her, because Ashley's the one that doesn't have a story, in my opinion. Didn't she already do that thing about her book club? And then they had to regurgitate that story this year because she has so little going on. All Ashley does is she argues, she yells, she tells other people's secrets, complains about Quick. She's complained about her mom a couple times, and now this book a couple times. And making sure that anybody that befriends Arena pays dearly. I don't know. It's seeming like a little pattern to me. But then again, I don't know much. We're going to finish it off, you guys. I hope this isn't long. But we're going to finish this off with our final reality roundup for today. Thank you guys for coming to LRGA Curves today. Smash all the buttons. Yeah, right, Emmanuel. I am up here just like that. I'm like, well, they are talking about Meghan Markle, talking about not holding people's attention. Okay, I don't know if my voice is putting the people to sleep, but they are having a whole sub conversation about Meghan motherfucking Markle, you guys. And I'm up here talking about Joy and Carmen and Amanda and Candy and Monica and Martell. And I don't know, but there's something going on with Meghan, and I am looking it up. I don't know. It looks like Harry's making some moves. I have no idea. I'm just freaking yes. I love Arena and Joy. Winter and Carmen can fly away on their brooms. Oh my gosh, when that guy was like, "Can I borrow your broom?" He's like, "I had to get one in." Let them live, Amanda and Meghan. Let them live their lives. I can't wait to taste their royal jam. Me neither. I just hope they aren't charging freaking Julia prices. You know, Julia wants to charge $30 a jar for her jam. I don't know if any freaking jam is worth $30, you guys, because I can make it my own self from scratch. My grandma left her recipe, y'all, with the wax on top of the mason jar and everything. I could really make you guys some delightful jams if you needed me to for less than $30 a jar, okay? But look, but I did eat some granola my friend's son made yesterday, and I was like, ooh, I need some of this granola. I would pay $10 a pound for this granola. Easy. Yeah, it was real good. Yeah, I love Meghan Markle because she's the first biracial woman in the royal family in recent history. Yep. And because my country is a part of the Commonwealth. Right on. That's what I say. Love who you love. Be pro-love. Anti-hate, pro-love. Anti-hate, pro-love. Well, there's Meghan hater. Oh, yeah. Some people really just have a problem with Meghan. I'm not sure. Like Pierce Morgan. Isn't that guy, Pierce? Isn't that guy that's always on Meghan's ass? He just, yeah, if somebody says a word that starts with M, they were getting ready to say money. He's like, yeah, Meghan Markle's a bitch. Somebody says a word that's supposed to start with M, like mashed potatoes. And he's like, yeah, Meghan Markle's a bitch. Just anytime he hears meh, he's like, goes off on her. Keep on topic. No, look, it's hilarious. You guys have a whole subgenre of conversation happening in the chat, and it's totally okay. Oh, look, you were lucky you never turned into LAMDC, because Ashley is so old to be such a fucking mean girl. And I really hate it when the beautiful ones are just so freaking evil and gross inside. Like, it's just, oh my gosh, Ashley is just a lot. She's a lot. Being pretty is crazy when you're so pretty and so flawed at the same time and don't see nothing wrong. She almost got DJ Fun Size's ass smashed fucking with Clifton. She made up a whole controversy. She made up a controversy and almost had her little man smashed over some bullshit. Okay? He popped up. He didn't have no socks on. I'll get you, man. I'll get you. Who you talking to? Acted like Carlos King had to hold him back. It was so funny. Ashley did all of that, you guys. All over her freaking dramas. Yes. Yeah, let's keep it respectful. Respect the chat. Yes. Thanks for the support. Good job, DT. Thanks for coming. Just subscribed. Yes. Emmanuel Vasquez. You guys dropped his channel, right? Because Manny's TV talk. Yeah, back to topic, right? Remind me again, how old are these people? Join Clifton. So it's really hard to tell because black doesn't crack. But Irena said she's almost 50 and they're younger than that. So are they late 30s, early 40s? Who knows? Yeah, DT's everywhere. Yeah, we love you guys. Yeah. Well, who's a spoutable? What's a spoutable? Do I need a newer platform? How much memory will it take in my phone? Yeah, I never heard of spoutable. Yeah, it's so freaking messy. Yeah. I love it that you're here. Thanks for being here. Right on. Yeah, I try. I really try to come back to center. I'm actually a very positive person, you guys. Super duper positive. I literally search for silver linings. People will come to me, they'll be like, oh, this happened and this happened. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened. And I immediately start thinking, okay, now how can we like repair, reprimand, something, like get to the other side, start the healing, you know, like, yeah, if you like it, hit it. Yeah, the Silvas. So the Silvas, that's the DJ Fun Size, right? Yeah, they really are acting like they're all that in a bag of chips, and they are such a freaking snooze fest. The only thing I want to know from the Silvas is what position do they do in sex? Because he's mighty short to be climbing on top of all that good. Okay, you know she got the good. And it looks like he might have to strap a board to his ass so he doesn't fall in, because he's very little compared to all of her mounds of fun. And that's all said in love, because I'm mounds of fun too, and my man is very fit, okay? So he be sinking in these mounds of fun, okay? So yeah, I just want to know, what are they working with over there? Like, is his back hurting because she likes it on top? Or what? Or how is he handling all of what is Ashley Silva? And that's why she mad, because he probably can't handle it, you guys. That's why his ass ain't never at home, because he knows she gonna want some and he can't handle it. That's what the problem is. That's why she's so mad. She needs a proper dicknomization, a steady dicking down for 2 weeks solid, and I bet her entire personality changes. If she busts another day for 2 weeks, her entire attitude would change. I'm positive. She's complaining about him not being home, because if he's not home, his peen's not home, and that means she's not getting any. And everybody knows it's an attitude adjustment as soon as you bust one. That's all she needs. DJ Fun Size to step up. My mom used to make guava jam. Ooh, that sounds nice. Sebastian Says was telling me I need guavas. So I get to Costco and they have these freaking guavas. But I don't know how to pick guavas. And Costco, they just have mounds of everything. You don't really know how to tell what's what. And they always have it in some container where you really can't get to it to see how fresh it really is. You know what I mean? So I'm calling the group chat to see how to pick a good guava, and nobody knows. So then I go to my best friend Google, and as it turned out, all the guavas that freaking Costco had to order were in the box where it says don't get it if it looks like this. The whole mound. So I'm thankful for guava and Google. Oh, now my grandma, she would make some excellent apricot marmalade. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Oh, I don't know why I think that's marmalade. Oh, because Lady Marmalade sang that song. That's where that came from. Okay, I'm still on the right train. Yes, Fun says, DJ Fun Size. Yes, I'm just wondering how he climbs on. That's what I want to know. If they could tell me that, I might be interested, because everything else they've told me so far that I have seen of them on the season has been a real little boring. I was very pleased with Jamie Tyler and Arena this season. I did watch the first season, and I felt like the first season he was a little snappy at Arena, but maybe it was just work, because this season he really seems like he's trying to come back to center. And I can only imagine after putting your life on the line, and I'm not even pro Poco all like that, but it's very refreshing to see a human inside of a police uniform. It's very refreshing to see him trying to come back from being in that police uniform also. I think that's Emmy motherfucking award winning TV right there. That needs an Emmy. Right now, that black man peeling back the layers of his mental and emotional state after putting himself in harm's way in his community for a career. And now he's dissecting himself and deciding how he wants to be moving forward. And he's peeling it away, you guys. It's fascinating. I feel like the humanization of anything that has to do with melanin is going to be beneficial in the long run, because so many times our experience is attached to dehumanization, right? So I really appreciate the Tylers for sharing that very powerful thing. Now let's get to what I was talking about. Let's go here. Come on. Now let's come here. Now let's do this. Now let's do this. And the thing we're going to end with,
it's ordered that Melody and myself
is Martell.
We can't spank the children because all my kids out here. Mariah, Martell, Malia, Milani.
Shout out to Live Beats at Instagram for catching all of these.
Some of y'all probably heard, some of y'all haven't, but it's like I gotta start addressing certain things when it presents itself. I haven't seen anything, I haven't heard too much, but I get phone calls about what's going on in social media in terms of
that part, Corey.
Me being abusive. Those allegations from 2022, even to present day, I like to be transparent about stuff. Have I ever abused my children? No. Have I ever spanked my kids? Yes. But I haven't spanked them in quite some time, But I just hate that this narrative is going around, and bloggers picking things up, and certain people trying to destroy me. But it's not going to happen though. I'm not going to allow it to happen. So yeah, it's court ordered that Melody and myself, we can't spank the children because of the first allegations. Wait, was this 2022? All the kids. So what, 2022, allegations came out, but this was at the end of COVID and things like that. And I'm just going to talk freely because I'm tired of all this stuff talking about I'm being abusive and stuff like that. Go up there, sweetheart. I got to start addressing things. Again, have I ever abused my children? No. Have I ever abused anyone? No. So yeah, it's court ordered that Melody and myself, we can't spank the children because all my kids out here. Mariah, Martell, Malia, Milani, Maverick,
Down out here, around 4-wheelers, RZRs, and my boy Derek's spot. Some of y'all probably heard, some of y'all haven't, but it's like I gotta start addressing certain things when it presents itself. You know, I haven't seen anything, I haven't heard too much, but you know, I get phone calls about what's going on in social media in terms of me being abusive. Those allegations from 2022, even to present day. You know, I like to be transparent about stuff. Have I ever abused my children? No. Have I ever spanked my kids? Yeah.
Okay, so that's what Martell said. And I know that in these YouTube streets, there's a big kerfuffle with what's going on. And with stuff over there in Love and Marriage Huntsville, some people are getting sued. Some content creators are getting sued. A $10 million lawsuit, all kind of stuff, doxing, harassing, some stuff. I don't know. I'm out of it. I stay out of fucking mess. I stay out of it. But I did notice also that Martell hadn't been on any social medias for a long time, and I didn't know why. Well, come to find out, he had to go to a 5150 hold, I heard, and allegedly, is it allegedly up? Yeah, so allegedly, Martell Holt had to go on a 5150 hold and has been getting some mental health treatment, I guess, and something around that, you guys. And then somebody released all of the court documents and was reading them off on the YouTube streets. And so it was talking about the spanking. And so Mar Toddler, right? Womp, 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 right? So in the court documents, it was saying about spanking the kids and stuff. And so also in that same live that we just saw, in another version I saw, not on live bites, shout out on Instagram. He usually catches, you guys think I can catch a live. He be catching the lives, okay? But yeah, so shout out to them over there for that. But we were just talking about the joy and Carmen of it all. And look, while we were over here talking, damn, I would have liked to see this. Sorry, you guys. We missed a live with Jamie and them, A Day in the Life of the Tylers. And they're talking about a lot of stuff from the recount.
No, let me finish. Well, no, but I'm saying she's never introduced anyone to me or you. And that was her point. I'm trying to okay, go ahead. So she's been on a yacht with us. She brought a guy. Introduced as her friend. And it wasn't the one that wasn't the guy y'all see. She's been in another event I held at a photo store. The same guy came. And then he disappeared. And then we met the new guy, Ray. I didn't meet him. Well, I did. I saw him. Okay, but just make it clear because the word is it's not you, it's me. They're saying that I've seen this person because remember, but me and Carmen had that exchange. And she said, I, not you, I met this particular boyfriend. So when you told me, you gotta be like, I haven't told him. Okay, go ahead. So anyway, I met Ray in a couple of events. You know, I had no issues with this. I don't know, she must have performed like well, no, I've never heard this man even speak in front of me. That's the thing. Let me tell you how I met him. Well, I didn't meet him. She was with, so we went to a boxing match that was in DC. We was with some other friends. We were sitting in a row. I was further away from Carmen because she was coming down the steps. She had the guy Ray with her. I was all the way down towards the end of the row. I spoke to her. That was it. I never got, oh, this is my new boyfriend. This is my new friend. I didn't get any of that because I was so far away from her. I made sure that I spoke to her. The second time I saw them was at your 50th birthday party. No conversation whatsoever. I think at that time, me and Carmen wasn't on good terms because she was very busy. She was starting to turn up because she was drinking at his party. And they were actually getting ready to leave. He still did the same thing to me. I still getting no introduction of this is my boyfriend, none of that. That was it. And then we were seeing them at other places because we all live in the same, well, we all at the same events. We don't live in the same area. But we'll see them at some event. But we're not talking. We're not hanging out. So for people to sit on their lives or podcasts and say that we've hung out numerous times, I've never hung out with them. Never. So that's a bold-faced lie. I've never hung out with Carmen and her boyfriend. Period.
Those are Dolce & Gabbana classes. She ain't got all the fly shit.
Yeah, no, me and Ashley, no, we're not cool. Ashley is still upset because I've been hearing about this too. She's mad because of what was stated by me on Reunion Part 2, where I said that her assistant or her niece or her friend who lives in the house with her was talking badly about them, about the Silvers. She was communicating via text. She was on the phone with my daughter, and she was saying some really bad things.
Daughter.
So I wouldn't go on stage and say that she was a bad mother, because that's not who I am. I would never say you're a bad mom. I think Ashley is a great mom. I would never say, Ashley, you drink all day, you too drunk to take care of your kids. That did not come from me. I specifically said, your assistant, the girl who lives with you, has been speaking badly about you. And these are the things that she said to me and my daughter, to my daughter. I didn't say those things. So for her to say, well, Raina said I was drinking all day, and Raina said this about me not taking care of my kids, that came from her assistant or the girl who lives in a home. I was just relaying what she actually said to my daughter. And the fact too that she said that she was not getting paid for any of the work that she was doing in her house. I still had those messages. I actually had the messages in my hand at reunion, but I still have them in my phone. I had the text messages between the young lady and my daughter, her saying that, she wasn't getting paid for anything that she does. She's doing all this work at the house, and people will be surprised that I'm not getting compensated, all those type of things. So anyway.
Shout out to my Taurus Nation in the building. I see shit too.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody said, what do you expect on May 12th?
May 12th? I have no idea. Of course, we all not on good terms. Joy hasn't spoken to Ashley either. Like I said, I speak to Joy every day. But nothing with Ashley. And I know it's going to be us three. I don't know who else is going to be there. I'm sure he's going to have some surprise guests, but we don't know. We just don't know. I mean, we don't know what we're getting into. All I know is it's a Mother's Day brunch. Ashley, Joy, and I, and Carlos King. That's it. That's all. Yeah, if Eddie would be quiet and listen, she would hear what we say. Yeah, so she's all over you. Her interview saying, well, me and Raina would never be okay because she said this, and I'm an unfit mother, and I drink all day, and I can't take care of my kids. I didn't say that. I was telling you what was said to us. And I still have text messages. I created a text message, not a text message, a photo, I got an album in my phone that I had saved screenshots because I knew that this was going to come up. So I said, let me save all these screenshots, the Twitter stuff. I saved the text messages between me and Ashley when it first came up. I still have all that on my phone. And I communicated to her when you got into it with your assistant. And I was telling her, I said, Ashley, this girl is talking about you like a dog. She's talking about you and your family. I said, I've heard it before. I said, I didn't bring it to your attention like that, but I think that was pretty bad. And she said she was going to address it with her, and I never heard anything like that. So, it is what it is. Yeah, it came. I'm like, what is this she not getting? I didn't say those things.
I think when I used to piggyback on what she said, a lot of people on Twitter, I saw a lot of comments that young lady made throughout those seasons. Like, it wasn't new. She was talking about it's not the case. All since we've been on TV. It's just tough when you know this person. Like, we know them. So it's like, why you like going on us? Like, so
right.
We had a lot to slide. Trust me. It was just not. We kept going with the whole with my son's situation. That was tough. I just told her, shut up.
March 23rd is when I communicated with her. She was upset with me. And I told her, I said, this girl has been rambling on and on for months. I'm reading this text message. This girl has been rambling on and on for months on social media about my family. I've ignored her. I ignored that girl at time because I'm not the person to go back and forth with. Everybody knows that. But I know. I said, I've ignored her. I said, enough is enough. We're not going to see never talk. Reckless all the damn time. That was fed up. Like, this person, every episode, is just going on and on about me, Jamie, my family. Like, just every episode, like, enough is enough. And I was like, I can't say nothing. I said, she's told Brittany a lot of things about John. I said, pretty bad, that I've never mentioned to you because clearly I don't think she's not right. I said, this shit is crazy and I'm tired of it. I said, you have no idea what this girl can say about y'all. I said, if you knew what she was saying about you guys and what's going on in your household, you would put her out. That's how bad it is. I never told her exactly what was said. I said, but it's so bad, you would probably put her out your house. So I don't know why she's acting like I'm just making all this stuff up. Like I said, I would never say that someone's a bad mother. I don't know if he's drinking at home or not. Why would I even bring that up? This was communicated to my daughter, and she told me about it.
So I'm gonna answer this one. Jamie, have you talked to Chris? So like Raina said, we are in a lot of the same rooms, the same invites. So we saw quick about 3 or 4 weeks ago, man, at an event, and we spoke to your hands. That was it. No more than that. And I said at the beginning, they ain't show it, but I'm not beefing with Quick. I don't fool his wife, and I said that then. I said he going, as y'all see, he ride or die until the motherfucking wheels fall off the fight, right or wrong. And I can't be around that. So no, so he's going to the public, but that's it.
Someone said, how did you guys feel about Clifton's response to him wanting Joy and Carmen to get him on?
Hey, I was
me personally.
Somebody.
Well, I'm gonna say what I would have said. I would have said hell no, and I know she would have said That shit is over. So, but that's what they got going on. I can't speak to why he didn't answer it or he answered the way he answered. I know the Tyler's, like that individual over there, she's saying she fucked with me.
That's why I didn't
not my wife
today.
That would have never happened, and that's why I felt so. I felt so bad about Joy at that moment. Of course, I know other things.
No, it's in the chat. It's just in the chat.
But it was bad to watch. And I felt really bad for her.
Yeah.
And I was hoping through that clipping would have said a little more. And I know people say stuff is edited, but he really didn't say much. I was like, why am I sitting here arguing, going back and forth with Carmen? But I am defending my friend, of course. And then she tried to blame me for the reason why Joy blocked her and why she's not speaking to her. I'm like, Joy, caught on to your bullshit.
Oh, look, they said over there. I'm on the phone, you guys. The people called me.
Find off the jump. So when Carmen came out, y'all see she basically tried to blame Raina for her and Joy. And that's when Raina was like, nah, you're not doing it. That's when she popped off at her. So it was like she said, Jamie was talking to people in the city that know her about the union, and when we see each other, that's facts. We didn't left with them at all leading up to the union. So yeah, when we got to the union, it was on. It was like, let's get there. So she was on 1,000 as soon as it started. So was Ashley.
Yeah, because we actually in our end of the season, as you can see, we were fine. You know, her and Joy still had a little bit of friction because of what happened at the clothing store with Joy. You know, said, I love Carmen and Clifton more than I love them, and I can't really deal with you anymore. So Ashley and I didn't have any issues towards the end of the season, but like Jamie said, all the anger came from the Twitter, which had something to do with the assistant, the young lady who lives with her. I don't know if she still lives with her now, but during that time she was. So that's how all that came up. And then we filmed Reunion in August. So,
So this new question, why didn't we address the things with Ashley when that recorded? So you got to remember, all that happened way after the movie. The actual incident happened like 2 years ago with Winston. It only became a new thing because Winston went on somebody's podcast and brought the shit back up to take a shot at her. So that's why the recording was done. Like the guy said, he knew our daughter. And anybody with common sense, if I'm in the same room with somebody.
So you guys heard about the recording that Arena played. We played it over here before because when they dropped it, they were like, share this with everybody. We want everybody to hear. Because obviously Winter and Ashley had gone around and done something, and Winter ended up talking to somebody and who said they had smashed Arena, and then allegedly went and pulled Jamie's coattail about it. But she said she was already talking to Jamie about that, and it came up somehow. So it wasn't like she ran over to him just to tell him about that, but that it did come up while they had a conversation. And the guy was basically saying, the one who Winter and them accused of smashing Arena, he said that Winter and them wanted him to come and say these things, but he never said that any of it was true. They wanted him to say it was true. So it was really interesting. So after they played that tape, was like within 48 hours of Arena and Jamie's live, playing the tape conversation of the man saying that Winter put him up to it. Within 48 hours of that is when Winter started talking about she quit. This isn't for her. This isn't what she signed up for. They made her the villain. She didn't. And then somebody said something about she was getting sued. And she was like, I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was repeat what somebody told me. And now we also heard that she's not coming back. Like, she's made it clear she's not coming back. So this, what they're talking about, the Tylers right now, this is about that to me. I'm not sure, but just based off of it happening within 48 hours and her saying that she didn't do anything wrong and then her saying that she quit. I don't know. I feel like it has a lot to do with whatever this side off-camera conversation was that happened.
I feel like we fuck with people for her. We won't say, hey, you know, you're talking crazy. He just said this wild ass shit. I mean, and she know I wouldn't. But she didn't. She chose to tell me on IG.
Yeah, we just like Winter was being up to her own.
Like it was true, and it was like, we're on TV. Like, motherfuckers lie about people on TV all the time. Like, you don't have to keep running around. I got dirt on the side, like a little fucking kid. And that's what she like doing. Right? I'm just sick of it.
But no, not even that. Like you said, it was brought up 2 years ago. I didn't even think nothing else about it because, again, it's Winter, being Winter. So when you told me about it, I didn't know nothing about it. inbox you or message you and say something about something, and you handled it. So I was like, I didn't even think nothing else about it. I moved on. But then she brought it up again, like it's piping hot tea. So I'm like, well, this is stuff she was talking about a long time ago. That she said that she knows that people like to do stuff around, or people like to, entertain, stuff like that. And I was like, well, why would she make it a thing like it's real? But I was like, once it's there, once again, just messy. So to answer your question again, it wasn't even brought up while we were filming, because we were finished filming when it was brought up recently. When it came back out again. So just to answer y'all question, y'all know if it was brought up while we were filming, because a lot of people was like, well, why didn't catch this? Why the producers didn't get this tea out? Why didn't get this tea about right having a fake? Don't you think if we were filming and Winter brought it up in anything, they would have ran with that shit? Because that's some damn drama for your ass. So it never was brought up. She DM'd him, it went away because it was fake news. After filming, she brings the shit up again on a podcast. We were done filming. So that's why it didn't go anywhere on TV, because it wasn't brought up when we were filming. Oh, right here? Oh, shit, I can't see. Yeah, but that's too small. My question is for me. Love my mom despite her many wrongs to me from childhood to and I ask all the time to help me get through this pain. Pray to God. Okay. Yeah, so we're praying for you.
What's up, Eddie King?
Hey, right on, Mademoiselle. Thanks for the cash app. I just saw it. If you're still in the house, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm so glad it's over, guys. Jesus Christ, every week.
We are happy. We love you guys. 370 people in here that be doing outside joint club. Guys with us. We appreciate it, but we tired.
We are so glad.
You gotta check Twitter, YouTube.
He's gonna still check Twitter. Okay. So if y'all believe that, y'all crazy. He's still gonna be on Twitter. He's still gonna be listening to the YouTube to see what else they're talking about. But I am. It was a great season. Again, I'm just so glad it's over, because we had to relive everything that we filmed last year. We all got the episodes to prepare for reunion in August, and it was nothing. None of the cast communicated. We didn't act like we were mad at each other. And then these episodes air on TV a year later, and everybody mad. So you got to relive all that all over again. So I'm so glad it's over.
Hey, y'all know this. Y'all think that. There's a lot of damage control tweets.
Yes, thanks for coming through. Those Amanda updates were excellent, weren't they? I appreciated that family therapist POV as a therapist, for her to validate that self-diagnosis is encouraged also. I thought that was really brilliant. And so there's just enough room on right for a lot of things. And obviously, two things can be true. There is a clinical diagnosis available for $10,000, and there is self-diagnosis that can actually be beneficial and either frowned upon or encouraged. So look, do what's right for you. Thanks for coming through, though. I appreciate you.
I remember we saw this in August. We already knew they were going to get destroyed for 14 weeks. We already knew that. That's why y'all seen all that damage control, super media, and all that. They knew what was coming. And I saw somebody ask about
oh yeah, because Kanisha's on. Hi, Kanisha. So yes, Johnny was actually, we were watching YouTube, and I heard, I woke from the Carmen was saying something about
about the videos.
Oh, about the videos. So the videos. So my thing is, and why I said, like, why did you delete the videos if you thought nothing of it? If it was nothing wrong and it was so innocent, why delete it? Because you know they were wrong and you know they were inappropriate. That's why you delete them. See, Carmen fails to realize that she got all this power. We know a lot about Carmen. We're actually really good friends with an old business partner of hers. So if you may want to keep them off close, we know a lot.
Let's just say this. She did a whole interview right there. I say, if we do a season 4, grab your motherfucking popcorn. Shit gonna hit the fan. I'm just telling y'all now.
It's a lot going on.
Y'all screen score this, put it on YouTube.
There's a lot going on.
Season 4 will be bigger than Husband. I mean, they keep playing these women.
Look, Kamisha, there's a lot going on in these streets. You ain't heard it from me.
Everybody
Thanks.
Well, I was that type of person, like they are, when they just go on these lives and say they have an affair, you just no proof, no nothing. They would fall out like they would just die. Like I was going in a relationship. I know. The police are talking.
I had no idea.
But I'm gonna keep my mouth closed. But like I said, she may want to stop talking because, again, we know a lot. And sometimes you can Google stuff too. And I ain't look. You ain't heard it from me, but you can just Google it.
I'm like this. Nobody said stuff that we know that we saying right now. These people that were saying.
But come on to season 3. Come on, the next season. You want to come on the show? Because I'm trying to get a spot. But come on. We got a lot to talk about. Careful what you ask for. You want to be on reality TV, Love and Marriage DC, trying to get the spot by just doing the same anything. Come on. We got some stuff to talk about. She knows it too. Plus the wig line is going great. We actually going preparing to do a fashion show for one of Jamie's mental health awareness events coming up the day before Mother's Day. May 11th. So right before Mother's Day event, we're doing a mental health awareness fashion show. The Ranger Tyler Lux Collection wigs will be featured on the models. So I'm excited about that. Jason is doing great. He's home. He was out partying last night with his dad, with all of us actually, celebrating Jamie's birthday.
You know, Jamie's up on the deck.
Yes, threatening people on air. No, they said when we shocked about Joy's unreleased professional. I wasn't shocked because I knew they were in a bad place at that time. So I really wasn't. I was, to see it, I was like, really like, oh man, I didn't think they were going to air anything like that. I didn't think she would have done any of her confessions, but I did know that they were in a bad place at that time.
We saw it all this came out. So we already knew that episode kind of trouble. Lil Jamie, but
the fan said, "What's up for Lil Jamie?"
Oh, Lil Jamie, the fan said was
move this along.
Talking about them. That's why y'all can't about her. She was saying about her.
She always spoke about me. I mean, she keep my name on her mouth. For her to say that I wish she don't even believe that. I've always tagged people that I work with as far as wearing their clothes and brand. She doesn't even believe that. I've never ever told women that I wish Shane. There's nothing wrong with Shane. There's nothing wrong with Fashion Nova. I wear Fashion Nova all the time. I just never wore it for Shane. My daughter actually told me after the fact, after we did it, she was like, "Mom, you have to check out Shane because they have these wholesale prices for clothes." I was like, "That's the stuff that Twitter was talking about." And she said I had these $35 shoes. I was wearing Louboutins when they were probably in the crib. I've been wearing Louboutins way before they probably even knew what the shoe was. I'm sure. So for her to even say that, and she always look at my goddamn mess. The hair is not neat. The edges are terrible. The clothes look a mess. She has no room to talk about anybody's style or fashion. Yeah, it was absolutely nice. Like she has nothing else to come up with. She doesn't even believe in herself. Even the lady who's interviewing her, like, why did you put that on now? But it's Jenny. I tell you, you look a fucking mess every time you walk out the door. I wouldn't even wear the stuff that you went to these parties and to the grocery store. You look like trash, and she knows.
She blamed us for her mental health. But y'all know, y'all met from season 1. She could go home. Everybody saw that. That's why she go ahead because she talked about her head. And she talked about her head. So something's wrong waiting for Tyler's head.
And I told y'all that. I said, something is different about this chick with this that's not hairstyle, shades on the side. I was like, these people just don't like that. I said, there's something wrong.
And I see somebody say she's in a relationship. You know what that is.
And it ain't good.
You know,
and that's the thing, we know so much. People can say that about us too, but we know a lot. So they go on these podcasts and just get gapping and talking and lives and all this stuff. Like, you know something, ladies. Yeah, she's not right at all.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, I heard she said something about she's scared of me. I keep denying all this. First of all, I don't fly with my family. I don't fly. Never. I'm in DC, yes, I haven't fucking done it. I don't fucking do it. So, also, I ain't going to jail for that. I don't mind it. So, I heard she said that.
I also heard too that she, oh yeah, she was talking to me. Well, I'm saying that because she's scared of me. She's scared of everybody. Stop.
She needs to stop. I'm gonna be there. She leave us alone.
Yeah, Maryland people don't love that hairstyle. I was like, this is not DC, not even Maryland. I can't even put multiple on that one. That was just a damn mess.
So,
25.
So let me speak on this. We don't discuss now, this is common sense. I would say, if you be the new person on the job, be the new person in the NFL, NBA, whatever it is, you're a rookie. You're going to get a rookie deal because that corporation has to see your work investment. Whether it's a 4-year deal, 2-year deal, then you renegotiate a better contract. Everybody's out on reality TV has a rookie deal. Whatever our rookie deal was, a lawyer, an advisor, a manager, somebody made that goddamn contract. Everybody y'all see on the show time. So whatever the number it is, that's what the hell you'll do. So you can't come back later because you mad at home.
It's the Tylers.
Everybody knew that's what it was. It is what it is. And whatever the number is, it's times 24. Or you had the first season too. All those times in 3 months, 6 months.
Way to go.
Real Housewives, only the female, the wife get paid. So with our show, both the husband and the wife actually get paid. So you got to consider that as a household amount and not just the wife getting, a check.
Then I'm going to break down your more. If your show popping like Huntsville and you're doing 2 seasons in 12 months, now you got that number, whatever the number is, times 40 something episodes. And If you make that on your job, that's all key. But if me making that on the side, y'all gotta keep that in mind. That's side money. That ain't all we do. I get a check till I got it. She got her business till she do something else. So we can't sit here and say, oh, that's all they make. Well, a lot of people talking shit don't even make that in 12 months. You might have to make that twice a week in 2 different seasons. So I thought that was kind of messed up. She started to take that to the table. Nobody starts off.
But not only that, she signed the contract. So now it's a man contract. You signed the contract with the amount of how much you were getting paid. It was all good then, huh? If they actually was wrong stating that y'all was using the people so much.
They're on Love and Marriage DC.
So this is the difference between Tom Kitties and we have adults. Our youngest child is about to be 24 in the month. One will be 28, one will be 33. Those are adults grown up.
So they have their own storyline. You don't have to use them for fun. They have their own.
They're adults. You don't have kids. That's why you don't see them. Nobody's interested in kids. Our kids always we let them do that. So naturally, that's going to follow whatever was going on TV. It's common sense. This was Joe Dang and Adam back then. You know, this is what they were told. Me and him ain't talking right now, and they follow. So that's why I keep saying they keep.
Yeah, people always talk shit.
Yeah, now y'all listen to this on these podcasts and these recaps. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, so much y'all can't believe all that shit. What they say, the young say that's cap.
That's cap.
Not an envy, not a hate, not a jealousy. It's not a that.
The attributes from doing it as well with the dang.
And they ain't had nothing else to talk about. They already care. They got doing their homework, whatever it was. Like, they're playing in the wrong. So it's like, okay, what else is going on in that house? And that would be my only thing on them. Like, we got all this smoke for us. We just like all this. What is really going on over there? What is really going on? Because there's a lot of shit going on that we know about it. Y'all ain't talking about. So
yes, we are still in contact with Monique and Chris. Jamie talks to Chris too. I'll talk about how fake actually when this friendship is. It's just as fake as you would want to say. Look,
it's not getting enough. You don't get it. None of that. All I know is I saw enough. I know enough that I would never, actually do nothing personal in my life. Never.
I just don't see, like, for me personally, I would never be friends with somebody that was talking about my family. Y'all gotta go back to season 1. How Ashley and Winter got into it really bad. The reunion was bad between Quick and Winter. She didn't even see under her dress. It was pretty bad between me and Winter season 1 as well, going leading into season 2. How am I supposed to be friends with somebody like that? Like, wow. You talk about me constantly. You talk about my family constantly. We done had blowouts on the show, season 1 and season 2. Like, no. I ain't real friends out here. And I would like to continue a relationship with Winter and I would never be friends. Never. And I know Ashley said that too, Mom. We in season 1 to look out. But I just, me personally, I would never sit down and share personal information about me and my husband with nobody like myself. Ain't no brainer either. The scene that they had in the clothing store, like trying to write a marriage counselor, like, what the fuck? What do they do that at? That's some type of conversation that you gonna have with a best friend. Somebody that you've been friends with for many years. Not somebody you met on TV and that you cursed out season 1 and season 2. Like, no. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you about me and my husband's problems and rely on you to find a damn counselor to help us. If your shit fucked up, excuse my French.
That's the big part about that.
No.
We have not had a verbal conversation with Ashley since y'all saw how that went. Like I said, I saw Quick and we spoke.
Yes.
Because I talked to Quick, like he said, the day after the Quick thing, and I told him, and I tell
you missed that, Chanel. So they just went over how, yeah, they do get paid, but that was her. It was for a starting price. And in their case, because they're married, they both make that. And that's per episode. And that's for however many episodes. So if it's 52 episodes times 6,000 as side income while they get to boost their other businesses and market their other stuff that they already either had going on or are currently creating. So they're like, this is like excellent. If you're making $6,000 on a side hustle, plus being able to have all that too, then good for you too. But they also said that, look, and I said the same thing. I'm like, didn't Winter have to read the freaking contract before she signed for that much money? Negotiations should always be had. Let's just say that.
Exactly what I said. That's your TV moment. Now who watched that TV know what I'm talking about. And I said, he said, nah, she said, you disrespect all this. I said, well, she got that man face TV because it didn't make no sense to us. Why he left the street? That's it. I'm sure she told him, when I see him, I'm gonna say something. So I would have thought you want to stick around until that shit happens. So she go left, but she did it. So I don't know why he said he had to be down and go out. I think that scene messed up the whole second half.
It was like for Carlos to communicate with you guys more regarding love and marriage DC instead of waiting almost a year. I agree with that because we were all in wondering like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is it taking so long? And we were like emailing the producers and people involved in Kingdom Reign, but they really didn't have a clear answer for us. So we were like, we were upset because we needed someone to tell us something. But yes, moving forward, that's going to be a discussion that we're going to absolutely bring up. Better communication with the talent.
He put it on home. So
he owned it. We had fans reaching out to us on social media, and it just didn't look right for us to not have an answer. We just like, that doesn't look right.
So look, guys, we got about 6 more minutes. We got to get better. Rapid fire these questions. We're gonna just answer them and take the next question. So we can stop home.
Is there a new season? Yeah, no, we haven't heard anything yet.
You and DT, you want to meet Raina? May 12th, she'll be at the Howard Theater. Carlos, Ashley, and Julie. Get y'all tickets off Carlos.
Yeah, so that was the Tylers. Love the Tylers. Thanks for sharing their life. Love that the Ashleys and the DJ Fun Sizes and the Winter Storms and the Yusha's Brooms and the Chimera side chick, not a side chick, black, not white. Thank them all for sharing their lives on this season of Love and Marriage DC. It takes a lot of courage to like get in front of anybody's camera and do anything that people can judge you for, you know? I mean, we come from a world where you're supposed to dance like nobody's watching. And because usually that's when you dance the best, is when nobody's watching. So just imagine the chutzpah, the cojones, the joie de vivre that these people have to share their freaking realities with us, whether they're produced or not. So shout out to everybody we went over today. Shout out to Candy Girl and Candy's and customer service and reasonably priced maternity leggings. Shout out to Monica Garcia. Sorry there's no heartbeat for the baby. Praying for you and praying for your family and praying for the young baby daddy. I mean, that would have been his first child. And now there's no heartbeat. So praying for all kind of peace and health and harmony for Monica Garcia of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Amanda Seals, let her live. If I can check a box and tell you what to call me, then she can say she self-diagnosed herself. And we saw from a licensed family therapist that self-diagnosis is a real thing for autism. She's not a fucking liar. Let her live. And Shannon Sharp is nobody's freaking journalist, okay? Joy and Carmen. Carmen was nobody's friend. It's obvious because she was talking major trash about her best friend just today in the live that she did. And she was never Joy's friend. And a note to all women, if you have, or anybody in a relationship, this is a note to self, people in significant relationships, if you have a spouse or a significant other, and they are uneasy about your relationship with somebody of the opposite sex or the same sex, part of your duty is to have your partner feel secure. Joy had every reason to have her cackles up with Carmen because Carmen was up to no good, you guys. Zero good came from having Carmen. In my opinion, I don't know. I don't know how his oil is going or not. But that was a lot of drama for somebody who you had to pay to be your best friend, who ultimately disrespected your wife. Look, it's just like if you get with somebody and they don't fuck with your kids then they by proxy don't fuck with you. You get that, right? So if you are friends with somebody that doesn't get along with your significant other, that by proxy, they don't get along with you because you and that person become one once you get married, duh. And don't let any who-res in training or any home wreckers loading or any thirst buckets come between you and what you have chose to put before God, okay? And then Martell. It was kind of good to see Martell out from under the rocks and reclaiming his time. Looks like he'll be up for the regularly scheduled social media shenanigans before we know it. He'll be back to his old tricks. Oh, and I was going to tell you, in another version of that live that we caught with Martell, Ariane's comments were in there, and she was like, tell these people that set them right about the truth about my daughter. Because remember, there was a rumor going around that her daughter Paris was abusing the Eminem kids, allegedly. And so she was in those comments talking about, tell him. And he ignored every comment Ariane put up there. He did not say nothing that Ariane put in the comments, you guys. So I don't know if her spell is wearing off or not. But yeah, just be nice to each other. There's enough to go around. It looks like the world is all about duplicity right now. So just be careful. Mind your 6 and your 9 and your 3 and your 7 and your 4. Oh no. Yeah, sweet tooth. Ooh, gelato sounds good. Some dulce de leche gelato sounds delicious. I'm gonna go ask husband, can you get me something sweet and creamy? You guys don't be nasty. Don't be nasty. Anyway, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring my bell. Ring my bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video, and so you can become part of this beautiful curvy community, y'all. And see you in the next video. And remember to go get some because there's enough to go